Hello, 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 hello. Can y'all hear me? Testing, 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 testing. Can y'all hear me? And anyway, guys, what's up? It's Reborn. And by the way, everyone, I want I want y'all to like at least, for my stance, if you're sleeping around that time or you may be around the afternoon, some type of stuff. But generally, because normally I'm gonna be real with y'all. Normally I do my podcast around at nighttime, but not during the day. Cause I know most of you's got like a different time zone compared to ours, you know, and the s- the stuff like what I do for most, it's just basically it won't fit in a day, so it have to be around the night, you know, due to people not gonna see the video, but once tomorrow morning, if they do see it, they're gonna like watch the whole stream, which is great, and that will be fun for sure. But anyway, um, yous. So we're gonna discuss about goddamn, modern day, you know, corporate shills. What I mean by corporate shills, you know, these type of, you know, blindsiders or pe people who wouldn't see the thing, but they're trying their best to fit in, what is it? The the cult good shoes, I would say. The full on cult good shoes, which it's not gonna do nothing on gaming or nothing on industry. And right now, everyone, I will try to do some, what is it, gameplay reaction videos, because even though I might get the PS5 later down the line for this year, the third one, and that's for sure, you know, for the PS5. But by the way, we need to discuss about the modern, corporate shills, and I want everyone to be honest and be real. Like, have y'all experienced, the current day modern corporate shills or not really? Oh, what's up? What's up? What's up? Yo, what's going on with StreamYard?
Oh shit! You finally added me in. My bad, bro. Yo,
Yeah,
what one? So I had
yeah,
you on a different. I had the stream on a different tab on my phone. Snap! I was just
yeah,
scrolling.
because it didn't hit the notification. Was waiting for hours, but there is no red sign. But one click for guest. Boom, I see it. I say, oh, looks like
Sorry,
the
people. I was literally pre in my eBay account. So yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Hello, everyone.
yeah. Hello, and guys, just let you know, this is Spirit Paradox.
Good evening.
Yeah, he do like a lot of Marvels and great honest review. Check it out. He doing so well, and he's very good at like exploring the Godzilla lore and everything, which I kind of do appreciate from this guy. So yeah, and even though
I actually should, I make more Godzilla videos because I've only made a few still.
yeah, and you're doing so well with it. You see, you're doing so pretty well.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, yeah. So
So what's the first
like I
topic
said,
for today?
because I think it's on, what is it? It's on maybe YouTube. It's on YouTube, and it's gonna be about the modern day. the corporation and also the Shills and all that.
Okay.
We gotta discuss. And basically, we ain't gonna say no names. We're gonna be like very honest to it. Yeah, because basically we do see what happened right now. With the disasters of Sony with the Helldiver 2, and basically it's just gone too far to the limit. And now, what is it? The developers want Helldiver 2 want to like make every of the customers like signing the PlayStation account on PC, but which is so personally, in my honest opinion, which is so like mind blowing.
Honestly, when it comes down to this whole situation, we I think it's really the investors that are doing it. Really,
Yeah, and for here we go now. Who is it? Hello there.
good evening.
What? Oh,
No, sometimes they press the wrong button. That happened to me last time, where I joined and clicked the wrong button and left instantly. They give him a moment.
yeah. We gonna give him a moment. That'd be sure doing.
Oh,
And
bro,
hmm?
have you seen that Helldivers situation? It seems
Yeah,
like everybody's pissed off at it now.
yeah. Because like I said, they are trying to like make a lot of the player base to be forced to like sign into
Like
PlayStation
PSN
account,
account.
or if not, they're gonna like delete that type of BS.
Mm-mm. See, man, I don't know why Sony want to do this for us. Like, it's such an unnecessary change. And you're just pissing people off for the sake of it now. But I don't
Yeah,
know, man. Sony,
yeah.
Sony's been fucking up a lot recently.
Because that's the good, maybe
Good
like
evening,
fan
Revenant.
service game, but they just want to like mess the whole like type of details about, which is not a good thing for how much you got like probably like 80 million views to like see this, and then you can't like ruin the gameplay. And now
Hey, what's
Yao's
up,
want to
Spirit of Paradox?
All good, bro. All good.
Nice. What's up, Reborn?
what's up? What's up?
You guys been on for a while, or am I very late?
No,
No, no.
you're not very late.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Me and him have like, good two-on-two discussion behind the scenes. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways, it's doing great. But like I said, for with the more modern day current gaming corporation shells, basically we know how the company, I like me and Spirit Products spoke about this situation, how what is it personally. I think Sony Japan need to like probably need to file a lawsuit around Sony from USA. But I told Spirit Products about it. He even like agreed with me too. And Spirit Paradox has some, you know, good point of claims which he made. Tell him, Spirit Paradox, what's your situation about it?
But what? Sorry, you cut out for me there.
Sony, Sony Japan and Sony from USA. What's your good
Oh,
points where you discuss we discuss it about me?
so it really seems like Sony, like West, has a lot more control over what goes on in PlayStation now, because it seems with Shift Up, when it came down to the situation with its censorship, they had to go and speak to Sony West to go and get that
Yes.
to try to get it sorted. And it was a bit of an issue because they had translation they had to deal with, and they probably had like loads of notes and paperwork.
Hmm.
So it's it's a bit techie, in it, because when it comes down to Western companies, we all know what going on with them. And then you see like the more Asian companies, like in Japan, like they're not really doing any of this crap. In fact, they're trying to avoid it, to be honest. But mm, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not fully inside the business, but
Hmm.
I honestly think there's just two factions at Sony.
Yeah, no, you're right because they had switched their headquarters from Japan to Los Angeles. I
Oh,
think in 2019 or something or
mm,
16. I'm not sure exactly which year. Like basically like maybe like five, like little over 5 years ago, something like that. So that's when a lot of it really got out of hand because they had shut down their Japan studio that had published and I think also helped work on other games. Like they helped work on Bloodborne, Shadow of the Colossus, Eco, The Last Guardian, Gravity Rush 1 and 2. I think there was another game, Tearaway, something like that. And that was on the Vita, but then came to PS4. So they helped with the Japan studio helped with a lot of games that were pretty like unique as far as like the exclusives that were on PlayStation, opposed to like your kill zones, Uncharted's, and all that.
I miss Killzone so
Yeah,
much.
Yeah,
and now we got
exactly. I'm
That's
saying,
Horizon
one of
Zero,
why
my
do we
like
even get
whatever
to
the
play
fuck.
those games?
like
Why?
for me. I think Killzone is my favorite FP. No, 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 no. That's Doom. It's like top three for me because Killzone was like the first PvP game I got into for multiplayer.
Hmm.
So I played Killzone 3 first, then 2, and then I realized how good 2 was. And then I bought Mercenary, and I don't like Shadowfall at all. But
Same.
I
I'm
wanted to
yeah,
try Shadowfall,
I,
but I just heard it was
I'm
bad,
it
gonna be
so
with
was
you,
that was the
yo.
up to
first
the
game I got
marketing
on my
price.
PS4, and I did not like it.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty bad,
Yeah,
unfortunately. And
because when I play it,
it would
I
be
didn't
nice
enjoy
if they
it
would
too.
go back and actually like make another one. Just have it be like
Mm,
more like the other ones before Shadowfall.
it was like a
Yeah,
war game, but like
Yeah, and then they made it
Shadowfall
into
felt like,
Crisis.
yeah, oh, and a bit like espionage. It's just
Yeah.
completely different setting, and it just wasn't for me, man. Them graphics, though, they still
No, they
hold
look
up to
great.
this
Yeah.
day.
they hold up
Mhm.
damn great, bro.
But
Same with
but I bet, but
Infamous,
I guess
like
we
the
could
stuff.
all agree here that it was basically a tech demo.
Yeah, that's what I got the vibe to that too.
don't I don't blame y'all.
But yeah, I think the issue what's going on with all the censorship and whatnot has to do with PlayStation, the headquarters being in California, and I think we all know how California is. It's very liberal,
Yeah,
um, and they're into that shit.
yeah,
The usual like modern day bullshit that's going on, like
yeah. Especially
DEI, ESG. You got the Hollywood elites.
the
There,
Colts, I would say. Colt
yeah,
is
the cult of Hollywood. And a lot of game studios are there too, located there.
yep,
So like until they like I don't think I doubt they close down their Japan studio as far as like as far as PlayStation is
yeah.
concerned.
Because I would say
So it's just
I'm
not
glad
it's
like
not
they
their
closed down
headquarters.
London. Well, I say I'm glad they
What happened?
closed down London studio. You know, Sony.
Oh yeah. That was actually good news too, because they closed that down. They laid off they laid off a bunch of people, and Naughty Dog, Insomniac. I'm trying to think what else. Guerrilla Games. I don't think Sucker Punch was affected. The guys who did Infamous and Sly Cooper and what's the other
Hmm.
one? Ghost of Tsushima. I don't think they were affected, but they had a shit ton of layoffs. I think like a month or two ago, roughly. And
See,
It has a lot of it has to do with they're just giving these companies like these insane budgets, and then it's like like Spider-Man 2 was like 350 million, and they're not seeing a return on that like probably ever.
See,
So
that's like for a movie budget, that would be considered like Avengers, just
yeah,
under Avengers Endgame budget.
hmm
Like, but
yeah,
that's ridiculous. Like, you need to be making at least 15 million
hmm
sales to make profit.
yeah, and we know that
Mm,
game didn't. And what was I gonna say? That's the big issue with like a lot of these AAA games because now they're just having like having these insanely high budgets for no reason. If you look at Spider-Man 2 compared to Spider-Man 1, it doesn't look like it would have it's like this a game that has a $350 million budget. It looks like it is that's not to say like there's nothing new about it, but it's just that it doesn't look like this big leap or big much of an advancement compared to the first one. So you're
mhm,
wondering like where's all this money going to? Yeah, sure, a lot of money goes to marketing and advertisement, all that, but come on, it's like 350 million. Like I don't think you
And
need that much to make the game and also market the game because keep in mind Sony's gonna market it, and all these other websites are gonna market it like regardless of that.
yeah,
And again, it's Spider Man. It has that's like a big name. That's brand recognition right there. Spider Man can just sell on its own, and the fact that this game obviously did not meet expectations with a point where not even half a year after it comes out, they're laying off like hundreds of people within that studio.
mhm. Probably
oh
because they're doing too much DEI hiring. They
yeah,
keep
Yeah.
hiring idiots.
Hopefully, most of the people who were laid off there were diversity hires.
yeah, and also what is it, Revenant? By the way, even though like we got like the modern corporate, cultists, the shills around defending this type of
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, like what is it? I would say, for example, for Star Wars, we only got like very small, corporate shills trying so hard to like defend it, and they're not even hitting.
You mean the new game, right? Not Star Wars as like as a whole.
Yeah,
You talk
like
about the game, right?
yeah, we talk about the game and also the
Oh
movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because a lot of them are just more focused on like the movies
I
and the shows that's on Disney Plus and all that shit.
I completely forgot that existed until you just brought that up.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's like I remember it, and then it's like I easily just like quickly just forget about it, and then like I'll just scroll like say like X or whatever, and I'll see like oh okay that's it's still a thing I kind of forgot because it's like it's so forgettable. Like again, it's gonna be another Ubisoft game, and now it's gonna
Yep.
once again have more pandering and agenda, uh, ham-fisted bullshit that no one asked for, and
And not just
the
that,
journalists are gonna defend it too, and also make
not
it seem
not
like
not,
oh
not
the
just
people who
gender
are
cultists now.
what was that?
Not just genders, just cultists too.
Yeah, yeah, the cult,
Gender
the
not,
woke
not
cult or whatever you want to call them.
mm,
They're gonna come and defend it because it's gonna check all the boxes that tickle their fancy.
yeah.
Um, when we know the
And
game
he
is gonna
I
be
got
a
no
buggy,
argument.
broken mess. It's gonna have it's gonna feel very generic. Again, Ubisoft, excuse me, Ubisoft has for years been very complacent. Most of the games don't feel like that much of a leap ahead of games that they made in the past. I mean, you could just look at Assassin's Creed, how far that series has fallen off.
Hey,
So,
hey, Reverend, if I was
uh,
you, and guys, let's be honest right now. Basically, Akma like upload video about triple A games. Oh, why are A games getting worse? And the funny thing, this little dumbass make the Fallout show is unbelievably good.
oh my god, that he wonders why AAA gaming is so bad. It's like he doesn't get it. You know what? Actually, you know what? No, he gets it. He just plays dumb because he wants to be like in the middle. So that way, it's like he can get both sides to agree with him mostly. So it's like he tries to play dumb, like he doesn't know what's going on, but then he'll take a very
Yeah, yeah. What's up,
a
Kintuck?
more
Let's
neutral
go.
approach to it. He'll take a neutral approach to it,
Yeah,
or depending on wherever the majority, like the general consensus of what people are saying, like whether or not if something's good or not, he'll lean that way. But
yeah,
usually him and a lot of other
Personally,
people like that will just kind of, they'll fence it until like there really is a side that it's safe to take. I'll give you an example, like this Saints Row reboot. Uh, if I'm pretty sure Ackman was probably like, yeah, the game looks terrible. Oh, it's Gen Z bullshit or whatever, because that's an easy approach. A lot of people did not like how that game looked. Pointed out why it looks like ass, and also explain why it failed. And yeah, you had people who tried to go against that, and they looked like complete idiots afterwards, especially now.
yeah.
I don't know if any. I don't mean to get off topic, but I don't know if any of you guys have seen a video by Short Fat Otaku where he actually had explained that people within Volition were all for the Saints Row reboot as far as like how they wanted to go. Because people were making it out to seem like it was Deep Silver that pushed them to make the game or embrace the group,
Listen
when
by
in
himself.
fact it was people within Volition that were pushing for that direction of the Saints Row reboot.
Yeah, and also let me tell you this because for me, I'm gonna tell you one, but
Oh, I don't mean to
I'm gonna
cut you off,
explain both.
Reborn, real quick. What's up, King Turk? Anyway,
Yeah, but let me explain to you. I would say this. If you see how much you got like small of the developers, like the original developers trying to tell a lot of stuff, trying to tell them, hey, the majority of fans really want to make this, the Saints Row to return back to original roots. Guess what did them? They got constantly hurt, like rejected and been called a lot of names around the studio.
yep. Look what happened to us when we were talking about it at first, and then how
Yeah,
many people will get going after us and shit. And then when it failed, and we made videos about it, and
yeah,
then like these people were nowhere to be found,
yeah.
right?
And look what happened right now. What what is it? I can tell you right now. I don't care, but that little paid ass show, the one running. I would say he's trying his best to copy Arm Prod. He's trying his best to like copy his content and recycle the same thing what he does, but to be honest, he ain't nowhere near Arm Prod level.
And who is this?
This guy called AJTS trying his best like
Oh, him.
Aaron
Yeah, yeah,
Aaron
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Prod, but he
Yeah,
ain't nowhere
I
near.
saw Gamer Wardy, his videos on him. It had to have been almost a year ago
Yeah,
by
yeah,
now, and
exactly.
so
Yeah, and he lost so much damn argument. Same go for me when I respond to this dude.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah, mommy, exactly, Kentucky. Yeah, I would smoke him.
Oh, they were beefing.
Yeah, Aaron Pro versus AJT as well was epic as hell.
I'm assuming Aaron Prod won, right?
Yep,
I kind of figured.
yeah, and Game Woody too.
Oh yeah, Game Wardy destroyed him. I don't care what anyone says, because
Y- yeah,
these people got nothing. They usually don't. They just go off their emotions, and they rather not think logically because it hurts their feelings. So,
yeah,
but
that's true, absolutely true.
just like with the Star Wars game, people gotta try to defend it, make it seem like it's a good game or it's not that bad. But we all know it's gonna be a bad game, and it's ridiculous what Ubisoft is trying to do as far as what the fuck is it, like a deluxe edition or whatever it is they got going on. That's like over $100, I think $200 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Yep.
$100
and then they wonder why they're losing all this
$100
money.
for a Ubisoft game. You're having a laugh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, yo, you even though what is it? Revenant. Someone uploaded about 2 minutes ago, like young yeah, talking about the situation in Helldivers too.
I've heard something was going on, but I didn't look into it. So what's going on with that?
He's talking about the Helldivers too. Like the man Sony start mandating, PlayStation Network account.
Oh,
For
okay. I
PC
think
players,
yeah. PC players have to make a PlayStation Network account, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's crazy. That's fucking retarded. Like, why should people have to do that on a different gaming platform just to play this game? Like, they never did this with any of their
Because
other
of
games that were
griefing,
on there.
apparently.
What was that?
Because of griefing.
Oh, okay. Is it really that
It's
bad
like
though?
what people can't just mute.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, isn't that? I'm pretty sure there's other ways to rectify that without having to really like, you know, put a burden on other people who are playing on PC just to enjoy the game, who aren't griefing.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I just think there's better ways of going about it. I'm sure there's like other examples of developers finding ways to work around that in the past. So I don't get it. So I don't blame anyone I don't blame anyone who's upset about it because rightfully so.
Yeah,
They should be
exactly.
upset.
I don't blame no none of the player base
You know what I
because
mean? Because it's like
they they
you
get
buy
themselves
the
like
game.
out their
I don't.
guts and then call them out.
Yeah, but it's like people buy the game on PC. I don't know if it's $7 on PC or if it's lower. I would assume it's the same amount. Or maybe they actually just sold it for a lesser price on console and PC, but I don't know the exact price of it. But regardless, people spent money on it on PC, and now suddenly you want to just switch like switch things around now where in order for people to play the game on PC, now you have to have a PlayStation Network account. And it's like, why? Because then it's stupid. It's like with Stellar like a bait and switch. Like people bought the game and you did this bait and switch, which I'm pretty certain it was Sony that forced shift of its hand as far as censoring the game really like the last minute. And I'm sure a lot of it had to do with the journalists complaining about it as well. But it's fucked up because people shouldn't have to buy something, you're expecting something, especially something that was advertised or something that's usually common, like, game, you buy a game on console and PC, and then, there's cross play and online functions. Everyone should be having a good
Yeah,
time
yeah,
without
you're
any of
right,
these
homie.
issues.
You're right. Yeah, you
And,
can.
yeah, it's like, so people shouldn't have to, deal with all that. It's like, all right, let me buy the game and I should get what's being advertised to me. 'Cause that's one of the reasons why you would buy the game. If you buy a game, all right, multiplayer, cross play, everyone can go in and have fun or whatever. Or this game is not going to be censored. You could, you're seeing in the trailers and even a demo of the outfits that were truly intended to be. And then once you have the game, you already spent the money, and then it's like now it's like the complete opposite. And these companies and the shills just expect everyone to just shut up about it and not complain. It's like no,
No, exactly. Freedom of speech. Shout for
exactly.
freedom
Yeah,
of
there you go.
speech. Here we go, bro. Let me tell you this. What is it? What is it? Reverend, if I have you take a look at J Run's video. Shout to J Run's Gaming, y'all. Shout to J Run's Gaming. He
Yeah,
did
he's good. I
a
like him.
video trying to talk about how these dumbass shows love to use this this retarded argument. They always love to say, oh, if you love attractive character, then go go to the adult website. I say,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They always run with that argument. It's like it's fucking
bro,
stupid.
I
It's not
rather
a good argument. They need to think of something better. It's like when you try to say, "Oh, touch grass or go outside" or some shit. It's like you're on the internet telling me this. Why don't you go outside?
Oh,
Why don't you go touch
oh,
grass?
what
You're
is
worried
it?
about what I'm saying, but then you're telling me to touch grass. Or
And
well, if you want your game like this or whatever, then why don't you go watch, PORN? And it's like
yeah,
that's not why people are complaining about it. It's the principle of the matter. It's the fact that people
exactly,
were lied to. People are tired of
exactly,
censorship. I don't know why
exactly.
this is hard for these fucking idiots to understand. We
Yeah,
don't want censorship. You're censoring an M-rated game, a game meant for adults. We're adults. Why are there adults trying to defend some bullshit like this?
yeah,
You want to know why? Because they're shills and they've been programmed to accept things as they are and not expect better.
exactly. Oh yeah,
That's
what is
exactly
it?
why AAA gaming is failing, and like King Turk had even mentioned, where the woke shit is failing because there's so much backlash because people are so aware of it now. Where you have someone, excuse me, you have someone like a act man, or whoever, acting fucking retarded. What is Sweet Baby Inc? What is woke? I don't know what this. I just recently
Oh,
found this out, and
why
it's just fucking
triple A
bullshit.
game is failing? Are the video game character too sexy? I say, oh my days. Uploading video about that one. And this
Mm-hmm.
nigga upload a video about, the damn what is it? The Resident Evil character, yeah, Ashley. Like he trying to defend himself from Ashley. Just because somebody call him out on his BS. I cannot have this type of stuff around my reputation. I got to defend my reputation for my character, so at least Capcom pay me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Like we don't give a fuck about your representation. What you see as validation for your lifestyle, whatever. We don't care about that. We want good games that appeal to us. We're not looking to see ourselves within the character or anything like that because we don't care. We want escapism. We want to be immersed in what we're doing. Like if you play a GTA or a Saints Row game, you want to just have fun. You want to, create your character, customize your character, whatever. You want to be in gangs and all that. It's not obviously not like in real life, but
Yeah.
we want games that actually respect us for who we are and not try to lecture us every few seconds or talk about student loans or waffle makers or whatever bullshit or current day political bullshit because we get enough of that anyway. I mean, we see in fucking like movies and TV shows, everything now has some political slant to it that no one asks for.
hmm But right now, I want to say this though. For me, let's talk. Even though Atman is a type of show, who is it next? Yeah, we all damn know RGT 85. What do you think of that dude? Revlon.
Who was that again? Is that the Nintendo guy?
Yeah, RGT
Um,
85.
I don't know much about him to be honest. I know of him, but so
But
yeah.
you know who is it? This other PlayStation fanboy. Even though we all know MBG, but the other one is it? Yeah, Hate Star Gaming. That type of show too.
Who was that? Say what was his name?
Hate Star Gaming. Do you know Hate Star Gaming?
No, never heard of him. I heard of was it MBG?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a I don't know, he's a weirdo.
yeah. What is it? Because
I think it's kind of corny when you see like channels that are solely like dedicated to like you know talk so positively about like whatever like platform they're on. Like you see someone who's like always trying to spin the narrative that everything on PC is great, or everything on Xbox is great, or everything on PlayStation is great, everything on Nintendo is great, and it's like no, they all have their flaws, and you trying to make everything seem like it's great on this side over the other is
and also Yeah.
is
And also,
ridiculous
let me say
because
this,
people
Reverend.
know that there's flaws on those gaming platforms. So and then again, it's like people are more like aware of like what these like platforms have to offer or what they don't, what they lack behind on. So it's like you got people trying to make it seem like one is like infinitely superior than the other, or they're trying to get everyone excited for like these fake news. Like, look at how many people were like talking about a new Silent Hill game for years, or how many people, or even with Silent Hill 2 remake, like people still like trying to talk about it, or even like GTA. Like how many years people were making GTA 6 is being rumored or whatever, like going back all the way to like what, like 2014, 2015. So to me, it's like it's ridiculous in my opinion.
Mm. There's too much fuckery going on in the games industry.
It really is.
Did any of you guys see that Batman Arkham Shadow?
You talk about the VR game.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer, guys, I was so gassed when I saw the thumbnail. I was like, yes, we're getting a new Batman game. And then I waited until the trailer finished. And I was like, oh, fucking hell.
That's when your heart sunk.
Yeah.
I didn't see the trailer. I know of it. I heard. I think they showed a trailer yesterday or the day before. So like, was it a good trailer, or did it look like didn't look that great? Or
Yeah, I mean, it looked very VR like,
Mhm.
if you think
Oh
about it.
yeah, yes, yes,
Like you
Chico.
kind of had
See
like a
that now,
first
bro.
person perspective
Yeah,
from
yeah, we
Batman's
all
view.
know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we all
Didn't he
know.
do an Didn't he do another one a few years ago? It was on consoles.
Yeah.
Another. Yeah. I don't know if that one was any good or not.
Some people said it was okay, because I
Hmm.
am subscribed to one YouTuber who does Batman content, Something Night.
Ah, the only one I know, the only one person I know who does like Batman content is Jim Pachi.
Yeah,
So
him too.
Here we go. Let's go.
But honestly, man, I would like a
Where is he?
Batman Beyond game.
Oh,
what was that?
oh, he he preparing it.
I would say I would
The
like
bad
to get a
boy's gonna be in the
Batman
building,
Beyond
yo.
game.
Bad boy's gonna
Oh,
be
that
in
would
the
be great.
building.
That'd be great. Batman
Yeah.
Beyond. That's long overdue.
All right. Let's read this. They're trying to cancel the game because there is no black zombie. You can't make the show up in a game concept all the zombie warlike white and grace because skin copied by the virus. But of course, we are not kids. We know why they're hitting that game. It's for the main reason. Guy being a straight white man. That's true.
Yep.
And
No,
and,
he yeah, Chico hit
and King Turk,
King Turk hit the nail on the head because
yeah, and King Turk, it's not
right.
that. They they hate too like Asian straight men as well. They hate white and Asian straight men.
And it's
Who are we
crazy because it's
talking
like,
about?
well, why are they trying to cancel Days Gone? It's already like been out for years, and they already
Yeah,
canceled a sequel. So it's like, are are these like sensitive, like overly sensitive, always trying to find something to be offended by, type of people, the cult? Are they like just like having a slow day where it's like they're really trying to like reach to the bottom of the barrel for something to be offended by? 'Cause that's what it seems like to me. Because like you're talking about a game that came out like fucking like what, like 5 years or so by now, even more. I think I don't know, but it's I don't get it. Unless there's news or rumors that there is gonna be a sequel and they're trying to cancel that or try to make it appeal to the modern day audience before it comes out.
yeah. Right. Oh yeah. By the way, guys. By the way, we got We got like Sony censored their another game, another developer game.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Fuck.
Not
Let me pull it up on my phone. I saved
not
the picture.
not Star Blade, something
No, I
else.
know it was some other game. I don't know if it's like a graphic novel game or something. Uh, hold on. Let me try to pull it up. Here we go. Let me see. Um, oh God, two. I don't know what the fuck you call it. It starts with a T, so I'm just gonna say the subtitle of it. A piece of blue glass moon. Tushikimi, Hime. I don't know. I think you know what I'm talking about, right? Reborn.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They had a statement where what was it? Let me read it. Um, you want me to read it for you? Because I actually have the picture here.
Yeah, read it, read it.
Okay. Due to difficulty platform publishing policies, the okay, this is the art book. The art book included in the physical limited edition for PlayStation 4 will be printed with graphic modifications to 2 pages, while the art book included in the physical limited edition for Nintendo Switch will be printed without the modifications. Despite these adjustments to the PlayStation 4 art book, the game will remain unaltered for both PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Oh fuck! Hold on. We we apologize for the inconvenience and thank you for your support of some whatever the fuck it's called. A piece of the blue glass moon.
Uh,
So PlayStation is out here censoring 2 pages in a fucking art book. Ridiculous.
yeah, which is damn, you know, pay as hell, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It
Pay as
really it really is petty because it's like
mm,
first of all it's an art book. It's not part of the actual game itself, and it's for a limited edition version of it. So it's not a standard edition that's going to be coming in with it. And on top of that, you have the art book. If someone wants to read, like not read through it, look through it or not, then that's their business. Some people who have the art book, they don't open it, they don't do whatever. Maybe they'll sell it online. But either way, it's not part of the actual game itself. So why censor it? You're not going to censor the actual game. Thankfully, they're not going to. I was actually surprised they didn't, but you got to censor like well like 2 pages in an art book because you know they're so like trigger happy on censorship where people can't buy a game, a limited edition of a game that I'm sure this game is not a AAA like big budget game, you know, and people can't even enjoy that because I'm sure it has beautiful art. I mean, a lot of these games do. When you're having these games selling like these like art books, like Vanillaware or what's the other like you know other games, for example, a lot of like Japanese or Asian, like I'm sorry, Eastern games usually have like art books that have like beautiful art, a lot of concept art and all that, character profiles and all that. And it's like, why are you going to censor it just because for people, you know, you're gonna censor it for people who are not even gonna buy the game. That's usually what it is. They're censoring it for people who don't give a fuck about any of these games.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Just like Tomb
like, what's the
Raider,
point?
and just like the goddamn, damn ass Tomb Raider, the original classic one from the early 90s. They
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They
censor
censored that
Lara,
too.
and then look what happened. They put it back up again.
Because
And
people
right now, what is it?
spoke up about it.
Yeah, and look what happened. The shills are not there. They just ghost out from that
'Cause they
time.
don't care. They're just
Yeah,
there to complain until they take it out, and then they move on to the next thing to complain and hope that they take it out. And you know, it's like a rinse and repeat to the next thing. Because they just want control because they're miserable in their real life. Once they log off social media, they're nobodies that no one gives a fuck about. Once they come online, they want to hoot and holler as loud as much as they can, as loud as they can until someone notices them, someone acknowledges them, and then once they see they have some power, or they have some sway over um what gets censored or not, or whatever alterations that a studio is willing to do for these people, then they feel like it's like a high. Like if you if you smoke or you drink or whatever, you want more. You start feeling good. It's like this like an addiction. They're like addicted to trying to have these companies bend the knee for them.
Yeah, just like what is it? Just like this PlayStation family, like Marlon Gaming, trying his best to defend the brand. And who else too? You got another one. Even though what is
Amazing Lucas.
even though no, he's like I'm not gonna say that guy name, but I say but even though he's another version of this guy, but he's wanna be Kevin Samuels, but Revenant Women know what I'm talking about.
I think I have an idea.
No, that guy that trying to be wanna be Kevin Samuels, and we got we got
Him. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, another clone version of him trying to defend PlayStation brand. And now put and now this dumbass participating in the console war with Xbox. I say them, uh, like y'all's crying right now, and also you got like the bitch ass Dreamcast guy crying about the bullshit. Oh, Xbox is officially dead, and their brand moving to PlayStation. Upload to upload. I say, nah, I ain't gonna watch any of that type of shit. Since y'all's gonna cry about what is it? My Microsoft, like personally, by their side, they're gonna move their console to exclusive, but now they're gonna say, "Oh, Microsoft destroyed their career." They already destroyed it since around 2015 with the Xbox One. Love how these communities love to play, stupid game, but they win bitch ass stupid prizes.
That's a Thomas Sotomayor quote, ain't it?
Yeah,
I know that. I know that.
yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Right now, respect the King Tech trying to send, my streamer to his Discord server, even though we got a lot of support. Very
Nice.
lot of support. And which one, brother Fallen? Tell me, huh? Which one, brother's fallen? Mm, yo, hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here he is. Here he is.
Yeah, press the wrong button again.
Yes. Oh, but we all have mistakes, mommy. We all have mistakes, so can't lie. One brother,
Um,
Someone
RP,
died?
he was
no,
he,
no, no. Well, no,
he was
that's by an
like,
accident.
Oh, he's talking about oh, okay, never mind.
oh, it's
Spirit of
Um,
Paradox.
spirit
That's what
paradox.
he was referring to.
Yeah, yeah.
um, you wanna know something? I feel like gaming has really went downhill since the beginning of last gen with the PS4 and Xbox One. Because
Yeah.
controversies used to happen once every blue moon in the PS3 and the Xbox 360. But with the PS4 genre, we got controversy nearly once every few quarter of the year, and then
Yeah,
it was once every few months, and now it's once every few weeks.
yeah. And also, what?
It's
And al-
mad.
yeah, mad. And also, Revenant Remnant, what also like send Mr. Minzai the truth about, one testing a lot of things what Slane did. But here is the one thing, even though Revenant Remnant, that Slane didn't censor at all, is The Last of Us Part 2. Am I right, Revenant
Hmm.
Remnant?
Yep. Oh,
They
not
did
only
not
not only
censor
that,
it
but
at all.
um, Ghost of Tsushima, they didn't censor that either because when he goes into the hot spring to I forgot exactly why he does it in the game. But you see him butt naked. You see his hold on, what's that? Oh my god. So yeah, you see that?
Yo, daddy's back, bitches. Woo!
Let's go, Jim Pachi, with the jokes,
And
bro.
what else? He also has an outfit that you unlock where it looks like he's just wearing like a what the
Well,
hell is
a
it? Like
fundoshi, like a
there you
fundoshi.
go. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it's called. Yeah, the fundoshi.
yeah.
That's all
But
he's wearing in that.
you know what it is,
So
bro? Sorry. By the way, sorry I took so long to join. I apologize. It's just that I was having issues with the permissions on StreamYards for some reason. It was like even as much
Oh,
as I changed it like 10 times and they wouldn't allow me to
damn! I
enter.
don't know what's going on with that system, bro.
I thought they tried to shadow ban me because I'd be talking crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? So,
No, you're
but
not crazy, man. You're just trying to like fight up the matrix.
yeah, basically they're trying to shut me down. They put me in internet jail. But yeah, so no, I agree. Like I overheard. Yeah, the censorship is hypocritical because like even Stellar Blade is covered up. She's never like naked. Even the cleavage that they show is not even at its most extreme within the game. It's still tame, even compared to like some of the games in the PS2 era. So I don't understand what the I don't understand like what the issue is other than them being biased and promoting an agenda because they could show Abby getting her back blown out and they can
Yeah,
show Jin Sakai's ass and shit, but and even The Witcher 3 had like blatant sex scenes, like full on nudity for the most
yeah,
part. Baldur's Gate 3, so you have all these examples of games that have like
yeah. But
pretty
journalists love that bullshit.
but I think that's what it is. I think it's just because it's not just that it's like hypocrisy. I think that even Sony is like they're like playing ball with like the agendas. So basically like
Yeah,
it's
because
not because
they're in California.
yeah, exactly
yeah,
because they don't care about the nudity. They only care if it's an attractive woman being like portrayed in the game. They're just trying to eliminate that as much as they can. So even like little things like her sex appeal or whatever, they're willing to entirely censor because or they're willing to like go out of their way to just nerf it as much as they can because they don't like that it's the like it's pro the ideology that they don't like.
yeah. That's true. I like guys. I'm gonna give like one credit to Jim Patty. Even though we mentioned, when we came down to like anti woke YouTuber before, he's saying like even though if people that doesn't trying the best to like fight up, it's not gonna work because they're gonna do some sketchy stuff, and
Yeah.
we all know what's gonna turn out.
Yeah. I think that I just want to say that I really think it's not because of censorship. I think that's just a bullshit I think that's just like a bullshit like fake reason. You know what I'm saying? They're not censoring it because of nudity. They're censoring it because they want to cover up the attractive, sexy female, right? Because I told Revenant this privately, right? Because I mean, you obviously know me and Revenant are good friends, right?
Yeah.
So we talk a lot privately, and I even told him like,
We're
even by
friends.
like, oh yeah, you're right, fuck you,
Yeah.
die. But anyway, no, but basically they like the old PS2 games that had like sex appeal on women with women, yeah, they were much more extreme in the way they were dressed, but the proportions of Eve is like I don't know how to explain it. Like the current state of graphics in gaming now has so much more high fidelity, and then the way Eve is modeled, it's like a very like thick, busty like woman. You know what I mean? Like it looks almost like much more realistically proportioned, even by compared to like old PS2 games. So they don't want that to come back with the new high fidelity of graphics. They want to try to
Yeah.
eliminate that from gaming. Does that
Yeah,
make sense? Am I making
yeah,
sense?
that's true, bro. That is damn as true, and that's why we all know they're trying to target those type of situations.
Yeah, because they like basically like now what they're capable to like Eve is literally built like her proportions are like crazy. Like they're like not only are they like fairly realistic, but like they're proportioned not just by like yeah, not to sound like fucked up, but like she's not thick for just for like an Asian character. Like she's like built like for real built. You know what I
She
mean?
built like a
So
Exactly,
Latina.
that's true.
yeah, she's built
And
like a Latin woman.
Yeah.
exactly. And guys, I remember Overwatch because I think when that game used to announce long time ago, they just done that woman character good, but
What
look
game?
what happened. Overwatch, the first one.
Overwatch. Okay,
Overwatch,
okay. Oh yeah,
Overwatch,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Overwatch.
They
but
changed her pose or some shit like
yeah,
Yeah,
that.
because
cause
it hurts
but like
Something like that.
somebody's, it hurt people's feelings.
yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
right.
But that's
Yeah,
like the point. Like
It, it, it
they're
hurt the
trying
feelings of
to.
people who aren't playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. People who don't care about the game because like in the end of the day, like
But then again, they got a bunch of weirdos in their community of within their games anyway. So you know, who knows? Maybe it
well
was
keep
someone
keep it
who
keep
actually
in
did play the game.
keep keep in mind some of those people that call people perverts yet they're into futanari and hentai and all kinds of crap. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's a lot of like mentally unhinged people and they're just like I hate to say it but they're basically worth like I don't want to say worthless but like I don't want to go that far. I mean even though I think they are, but to be like somewhat like I guess like I'm gonna just blatantly say it. They're just puppets. They just say what they've been conditioned to say, and they don't
They
apply thought
parrot
to it.
whatever they
You
parrot
know.
whatever
yeah.
they hear.
Guys, let me say this.
So
I mean,
meanwhile,
they don't say
sexy women
true.
bad, but then they're liking hentai and stuff. Like, and there's it's
Yeah, but
public information. It's not even
exactly,
hidden.
bro. Exactly.
You can like
All
you just
grooming
go
kids.
on their
They like
profile.
grooming
All
kids
their
on
likes and reposts
up.
all
Yes.
their likes and reposts are like hentai and like furries and shit like that, and then they want to go and call people perverts, and that they only like that
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with covering Eve up, and that people that like it are perverts. But then you look at what they like such as like journalists with Baldur's Gate 3 and Last
Oh
of Us
God.
2. It's like
All
Yeah.
grooming kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
Oh, what's
that's
wrong
what.
with LGBT characters in kids shows and whatever? I'm like, the fuck are you talking about?
because they're trying to gaslight
Insanity, right?
people
It's
into
like,
they're trying to gaslight people into thinking that like trying to shame them for liking like attractive women and shit. And I've said this many
mhm.
times on
And
our
I
podcast.
don't.
I've said this here before. Attraction is not a negotiation. You're not going to
Yep.
convince people that ugly bitches like Abby are going to be much more appealing than a character
It's not,
like
bro.
Eve. You're just not gonna do that. Like I
And
don't no matter how hard you try, it is what it is.
also, it's not that they want to target masculinity too. They
Yeah,
just hate
that too.
masculinity. They just don't like superhero stuff.
Yeah,
They're just soy boys. And the thing is, even though what is it, Rev talk about they're always gonna use this argument. Oh, you never ever see women in real life. You never ever see women. But even though we go to their face saying, look, like where are you, bitch? Where are you? Do you got women? Do you got women? And then when he brings it,
They usually don't themselves, but then they'll use the dumb argument like, "Oh, have you ever seen a woman like that look like that in real life?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have. It's pretty easy. It's
yeah,
pretty
you
common to
can.
find these women
exactly.
that
Go
look
go to a local gym.
like Eve, for
Go
example."
to your local gym and you'll find women built
Yeah, yeah.
like Eve
Exactly, bro.
and shit.
Or like
And
the
also
traditional Laura
or
Croft.
even like
Where
gymnast, right? Like
yeah,
you got characters like Catwoman and shit because you were talking about Arkham earlier, like Catwoman, and characters like that, where or like Harley Quinn, the classic one, because
or dead or alive characters.
the one in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League are fucking is a nerfed like woke version,
Abomination.
but the original Harley Quinn, she's built like a thick ass model. But remember,
Exactly.
have you ever seen what gymnasts look like? Go watch Olympic gymnasts and go watch collegiate gymnasts, and they're much closer to what Harley Quinn and I'm sorry, they're much closer to what the older Harley and the older Catwoman are closer to that than they are to like what these modern like weirdos put out. Like that's much more realistic. and it's a lie. They're just trying to gaslight people into believing the bullshit that they believe in, and they're trying to shame them, but it's not going to work because again, you can't convince people to like ugly.
Yep,
You're not going to convince people that it's better.
and
Exactly. They
it's just
can
a
try their
projection
best to run their
based on
own
what
bullshit.
they see themselves as. So you have these journalists that have a shitty physique, don't look really like attractive like that. So that's when they try to make these characters look similar to them, or even with the journalists, where it's like, oh, well, why can't developers make games with these type of characters, or may have an article or a video or some shit where it's like, this is why these
Yeah.
realistic characters
Guys, let me
are
tell you
good for
this.
gaming, and it's all a projection because they're trying to so hard to see themselves in these characters when characters like Eve or Jinpachi was saying with Catwoman or the
Hey,
original old Harley Quinn, where they exist in real life, but
hey,
people don't want those type of characters.
yeah,
I'm
hey,
sorry, I'm
River,
sorry.
let me tell you one funny thing. And also, I've forgotten to tell you this question. Have you noticed that Young Ye didn't cover a review about Blade? Have you noticed that he didn't even
because
cover the shit?
because he's a coochie and he doesn't want to get
Hmm.
he doesn't want to he doesn't
Yep,
want to get exposed because
he's
remember
compromised. He's just
you
doing what
can't
he's being
you
told.
can't lie. You can't like you can lie, but you can't convince yourself of a lie. You ever like listen to like some of these journalists speak about how they're supposedly like against certain things or whatever, but deep down you know they're beating their meat every night to like hentai and shit like that and
Yeah,
stuff like that. And it's like you can hear in their voice that they don't even believe what they're saying. You got like a 30-year-old man on camera talking about how, oh well, it's indecent, it's covered up, we need to grow up or whatever. But in the end of the day, like it's like they say like when people become a father, they know how men think, so they try to protect their daughters or whatever, right?
hmm
Or like, what I'm trying to say is men know how other men think, and that's why like on the surface you hear them talking, you know that they're full of shit. You get what I'm
yeah, it's
saying?
a
You
fucking
you
lie all the
know
time.
it's a lie. Granted, look, in the real world, not every single woman you meet is gonna look like
Oh,
Eve or look like Catwoman or whatever, but nobody's asking for that either. No one's saying that. But to try to deny that these people exist because they don't like it in a game is so disingenuous that like I'm surprised any of that has ever gotten any traction at
Yeah.
all. So
hey guys, I'll be back in 1 second because I need like show you this video. I'm gonna play
Okay.
it because it's so funny. We find I think you might know this YouTube. But you gotta listen to this. It's so hilarious.
by the way, Spirit of Paradise, how's it going? How's it going, bro?
Paradox.
Paradox. So I keep saying Spirit of Paradise because I keep thinking about Words of Paradise for some reason. Like the name,
Did I
they're
say
so.
that last week on the podcast?
You might have. I don't remember, but
Yeah, I might have
Spirit.
got that mixed up
I'm gonna
too.
just say Spirit for sure, for sure. It's just because like it's like a Freudian slip, like Paradox and Paradise, whatever.
We
But
could just say paradox for short.
I'm just gonna say
Like,
Spirit. That's it.
get used to it.
Spirit
Yeah, man, you good, you good.
or Sop. I like Sop because it's
Stop.
hilarious.
Stop.
Yeah, so I unlocked for anyone watching this while we wait for Reborn. I unlocked a lot of the costumes in Stellar Blade, and I gotta admit, like the uncensored versions, like I can't even like I've been thinking about playing New Game Plus, and I can't even. You need to download the update, which patches the it censors the game, and
Mm.
like I like the costume so much that I feel like I can't go back and play it like I can't go and play it uncensored even for New Game Plus. I mean, I
I
can't go back and play the censored version just so I can play New Game Plus. Like I a part of me is like I'll just wait until they fix it or just leave it at that.
I feel the same way. It's like I don't want to. I don't want to like because like I don't want to go back now and just like
Yo, I'm back.
I'll update the
Yeah.
game. You have the improvements, and then you possibly have you get the new game plus and all that. It's like then I'm gonna see the outfits. I'm like, oh fuck, this is terrible. Like why?
Yeah,
It just
exactly, Chico.
ruins it.
Exactly. My homie.
No, he's right. Yeah, yeah. King
Oh
Turk
yeah,
is right.
guys, I got a video to play, but I'm not gonna show it to you. But I want y'all to listen to this. We
Okay.
I think you might know this YouTuber, but I think it's in the history of his downfall. But his career been destroyed. But he is the most biggest, you know, shills out there. I want you to listen to him. I think you might know the voice. Are you gonna play Stellar Blade next month? The game looks interesting. If you're into hack and slashes, I've already explained, Nico, why I'm not playing it. All right, it's this simple.
All right, it's not that the game doesn't look good or the combat doesn't look sound. It does, but this is another situation that's going to be another Bayonetta. You know what I mean? Where the game dev outright has come out and said, we purposefully designed the main character of this game to basically get a certain audience. We based her off of a model. We sexualized the character to a certain point to get that level of attention. That's why we did it. We want that level of attention. Okay? And hey, cancel culture has come for them and said, oh, that's awful. You're objectifying women and blah, 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 blah. I don't care either way, but here's the thing. I know for a fact, if I play Stellar Blade, 99% of the time I'm playing the game, the chat will be talking about sexual stuff about the character. 99 fucking percent. It'll just be comment after comment after fucking comment after comment. All right.
Wow.
I want to have a stream that's 99% that shit. All right.
So basically, he doesn't want any men in his fucking stream because any grown ass man that's not a little bitch is gonna comment on it. What kind of gay ass garbage is this guy saying, man? I don't give a shit. What kind of like I talk vulgarly. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, Reborn. You will never be monetized while I'm on your streams, bro. But fuck that pussy ass shit, bro. How you play a game and how you think you refuse to play a game because you're afraid they're gonna fucking talk about this woman's cake? Like, come on. What?
They're gonna talk about her sexually.
I can't handle it. And then he has that like bitch ass California accent. You know what I mean? Like he sounds like all he does is fucking drink soy and like suck penis all day. Like get the fuck out of here. Kind of dumbass shit is that? Jesus Christ. I can't believe that man publicly said that. Like, oh wow, you get so many points. Everyone thinks you're gay now. Kudos. Plus 10 points. Like what the fuck?
He thinks he's still stunning and brave by saying all that.
What the hell?
He's trying to win someone over, I guess.
You know what's the irony? You know what's the irony about all these people that act like that? They're like, oh, well, I'm mature, whatever. Motherfucker, your whole shit is playing video games. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But here's the thing. You can't go around calling people immature and you're playing fucking video. Your like channel or your whatever is based around like comics, movies, or video games or whatever. It's like inherently you're like, I'm not saying that it's immature, but like that's not like a position to grandstand over anybody else with. It's not like this guy is running a multi-million-dollar business and being a fucking alpha male driving Bugattis and shit. This guy is talking about fucking X-Men or whatever game.
Well, like he's talking about like history, like he's like uncovering like, artifacts and shit like that. Like you talking about video games.
Yeah, like get the hell out of here.
Any type of like geek nerdy like culture type
and
of
there's nothing wrong with it. I'm into a lot of that stuff too, but like don't sit here acting like you're a fucking like you're a champion UFC fighter and you don't have time to fucking enjoy games or movies because you're like
trying to make it seem like he's something more than what he is. Like you talk about video games, like what the fuck you going on about? Like trying to have this moral high ground about like I don't want my chat to be full of all these people talk about this or whatever. It's like who gives a fuck? You know what the game is?
Like oh no.
Like if
men like sexy women.
What does that make him? He's talking about all this. I don't want my cat to be whatever. All right, if you buy the game, what does that make you? And then we're not going to sit around here like this man ain't attracted to women. I mean, based on what he's saying,
he probably isn't. The way he sounds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so maybe there's more to that. He doesn't want to reveal, but the man sounds sus.
Damn, these people are such bitches. It's like it's like people who say, "Oh, the character's gotta be more than this." Or like, shut the fuck up. Like, just play the damn thing or enjoy things to enjoy them. Not everything is fucking Citizen Kane. Sometimes it's just good to have sex appeal or just have like badass. Same thing in the reverse. And like if I'm playing Devil May Cry, granted, I'm not playing Devil. Not that Devil May Cry doesn't have a story, but I'm not playing Devil May Cry to fucking have an introspective look at the human mind and human nature. I'm playing because I want cool white hair man to do devil shit and kick ass. Like what the hell? Like I never understood this fake ass argument. This, Meanwhile, what's the alternative? You take a series like God of War. You take a series like God of War, and then you take a game about this badass angry dude killing gods. And you're like, no, we want to walk slowly and talk about being a good father and missing my wife.
Oh,
like all right, like shit. Come on, not that the old games don't have depth. Like the old games, God of War games actually have a lot of depth, and people try to be disingenuous and pretend that like there isn't a story there, which there is. But the point is that you're taking a lot of series that were like really fun and like over the top and like dramatic, and they're taking them and they're trying to make them into like these fucking like philosophical art pieces. And I'm like, I don't play Kratos because I want to like listen to him cry about missing his wife. I play Kratos because I want to watch him rip a Minotaur in half with his bare hands and be this extreme
Yeah.
character. You know,
And a lot of it's
like
like
yeah,
it's
there's
like
a place for that.
it's like fake depth. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, we're gonna create this illusion that this is so like deep and immersive and provoking and just like something you're gonna remember for years to come and nomination and award worthy when it's not. It's just forgettable. It's boring. It's
And
borderline
boring. Keyword boring.
Exactly.
character assassination. I mean, like the guy the
Guys, I'm just gonna say this
Reborn
right
was
now.
having playing the video talking about Stellar Blade. He'll probably praise like The Last of Us or specifically The Last of Us 2, and it's like that fucking story is terrible. The characters are god
Boring. And it's
awful.
just poorly
Exactly.
written.
That is
You
so
know what I
bad,
mean?
bro. Very, very bad at the end.
Like these
Very,
people
very bad.
will talk all this shit about games like Stellar Blade, yet they're gonna praise the most fucking brain dead, fucking monotone, just boring,
Boring dog
uninspired,
shit.
like dog shit
And
created by
not only that,
activists.
not
That's
only
all
that,
it is. Like
preachy,
they're praising
preachy
activists,
dog shit.
preachy, yeah, dog shit. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
all it is, they're just trying to instill their ideologies onto everyone else. Like this is what
Yeah,
they like, and
it's to
this is how they
manipulate people.
feel. So nothing else can ever get in the way of that. And they look at Celebrate and they feel threatened because their narrative is going to be crushed because turns out a
The
shit ton
game
of
sells well
people.
and people like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and now you got this petition going on where fucking by now it's like 70,000 people have already signed it, where they want it uncensored. And you know what? You ain't gonna see no you're not gonna see something like that with all these other woke bullshit games because
Exactly.
people are
And
tired of it.
you know what, and you know what I could see them doing sadly with Stellar Blade, because like the tact of like Asians generally, like when it comes to like
Yeah,
how they deal with the
2C
public,
mobile gaming.
I could see
Yeah.
them going the route of in a Stellar Blade 2 getting rid of, not getting rid of it, but like making the costumes in line with the censorship changes they made in the first game. That way they can avoid the criticism of, oh, you lied to us. So instead of just like fighting to make what they want, I can unfortunately see shift up um still having sexy costumes, but like following more of the guidelines that Sony must have given them to censor, what they did
Yeah.
with the censorship. If that,
Yeah.
do you guys understand what I'm trying to say?
Like in a sequel, right? You what
In
you're
a
saying?
sequel, yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
they'll
And then
have sexy costumes.
the
Yeah,
advertisement and the actual game itself will be in line with what they're doing for the sequel, opposed to the current Stell Blade, where obviously we didn't get what was advertised unless you're playing it uncensored.
but that's still a bitch move, though, in my opinion,
No, it is.
because
Regardless
like
of it,
are,
it's
Yeah,
still
it's
fucked up.
I'm gonna
true to
use
the punch.
I'll use a specific example. I'll use a specific example to clarify my point for anyone who's still confused, just in case. So you know the outfit that was censored, the bunny outfit, right, with the bunny tail.
Yeah,
You see
Holiday
how like
Rabbit.
yeah, so Holiday Rabbit. So you see how they added that little extra fabric to cover her up,
Well,
but
not
the
just that, but also
on her
on her
chest, hips.
not just the chest, the hips
Yeah,
also
yeah, I know
were
that's what I'm talking about. So
okay.
the chest and hips are both covered up slightly more. If the costume was released like that and no one had seen it before, everyone would say, "Oh, the costume's sexy" or whatever. No one would have thought twice. The reason why people complain is because they know it was censored, right? I feel like my opinion is the Last of Us. I'm just gonna say the Last of Us 2. Stellar Blade 2. What they're gonna do is they're gonna have the outfits by default have that kind of like they're gonna be like built around like more around that style, so that it doesn't come across like they lied or that the game was censored, because they basically have preemptively nerfed what they would like really do in order to avoid criticism. You get me?
Yeah.
Instead of like accepting and manning up with what they really want to make.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. But by the way, yeah, by the way, I just wish like every Japan company just ignore the mainstream media side and just man up and just create what character they want instead of just censor it. It's just damn pointless. And by the way, here's the last one. What you say? Listen.
I've already said I'm not interested in it, and if you spam the chat with it, no matter who you are, I'm going to time you out. So shut up about Stellar Blade. That's not the
Oh
topic.
my god.
I'm gonna
This
time
guy's
you
a
out. Shut up
fucking
about
bitch.
Stellar Blade. Yo,
Okay?
fucking
Shut up about it.
sounds like he lives on Skid Row.
Every day. And I've already tons of times explained rationale of why I'm interested in the game or why I'm not. You should respect my decision to want to play a game or not, and not fucking spam chat like a child. So please stop. Okay.
I would have unsubscribed if I found out that the person I was watching was that much of a
A
punani.
pussy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Come
Oh, I
on,
don't.
man.
Oh,
Like
I
on.
This man lives in clown worlds. He really does. Like
Bro,
saying
like,
all
look. At
that.
the end of the day, he could play whatever games he wants. It's his right. That is true. But like, come on, like,
yeah.
because you're worried that people are gonna talk about her sex appeal in the chat. That's not the kind of fans you want. Like, what do you think you are? You're not You're not fucking making classic theater. You're a YouTuber streaming games.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell
Exactly.
is wrong with these people? I swear,
Exactly.
man. Like, I really, it really boggles my mind. It really does. Like, I really like this shit is like unbelievable.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. He thinks he's like so above all this. It's like
Yeah,
the
so
fuck you talking
pretentious.
about? Yeah.
So
Exactly.
pretentious.
That's the word.
And like, bro, like, and then he got that cat, like, and then yo, I guarantee you that if you, I guarantee you privately, this man watches all kinds of craziness, bro.
Hell
It
yeah.
never
Oh
fails. It
yeah.
never fails. The
He
people
does.
that are the most vocal about this stuff, every single time, they always end up having like some crazy shit
He
in
bookmarked on YouTube Abby getting blown from the back.
yeah, or something like that, bro.
He
Like
bookmarked all the romancing options in Baldur's Gate 3.
yeah, like and again, here's the major key issue. It's not it's look, even though The Last of Us 2 is ass and they ruined it or whatever, and even though they do all that stuff, they have a right to make whatever games they want to make on their side of things. But I think what makes it bad is that they try to ruin other people's visions and try to take things away from other people.
Yeah,
So
that's the real
so
issue. It's like you can
yeah.
make what you want,
Make
and
your
then
gay,
you'll
make your gay trans like Last of Us propaganda. Do whatever
yeah. Then
whatever
I'm
you want
sure
over there.
they'll have their audience. I mean,
Yeah,
whoever that may
but
be.
don't try to
But
get people to send. Don't try to like bash Stellar Blade just because a woman with hips makes you cry and have nightmares at night. Like,
yeah,
come on,
because
bro. Like,
I mean, those people can make whatever freaky, activist propagandist bullshit they want, but then so could people who don't want to make that shit. Just want to make shit for people who want to enjoy, women that look like women and fun games that don't have you slowly walking and taking away the control of the player every few seconds. You
Final
know,
Fantasy 16's intro.
yeah,
Jesus,
16.
that was
Oh god,
horrible.
that demo. Oh man, I couldn't
That
finish that
that's not. I don't know
shit.
if that's the intro, but the demo, like that
That
demo
no,
was
that was
unbelievable.
the intro because I know they did that with I think 15. I don't know, but I'm
That
pretty sure
shit was
that
so
that is
slow.
the intro of the game because they
That was
start
so
teaching you
slow.
all the like the controls and all that. But my
Yeah.
whole thing is like, you know, both things can exist without either side like
Interfering.
interfering.
But is that's because the thing is they can't leave each other the fuck alone. That's the like not like
It's not
I'm
even
not even
both sides.
it's
It's
just
that
mostly
one
like
side
it's
that
mostly the woke people. But what I'm
yeah, the
saying
woke
is that
people who they
they
can't
can't
just
they can't leave other people alone.
yeah,
Leave everyone alone. Do your
that's the
gay
issue.
whack crap over where you want to do it. There's gonna be people that are gonna play that, and then like let the people who like how gaming is, like the older kind of games, the older style. If it's like
The
let
real
them
style.
the real style, leave them alone. Because again, like clearly the sales of Stellar Blade has shown that people are interested and still want that back. They could say, oh, that's just loud people on Twitter or whatever, loud people, whatever, but it wouldn't have been pre-ordered in such mass. That accounts for way
Yep.
more than the people that are just talking online. Like that means that the casual player saw that and was like, yeah, I'm buying that.
Yep.
Maybe they might not admit it, but they're buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate that it's reached this point where you have these idiots like trying to like take things away from other people, trying to and then being disingenuous and lying when really hot women hurts their feelings because of
Yeah.
whatever factor. It's
And it's
pathetic.
like they're like, oh, well, that's a loud portion of people who are excited for it. We could use that logic too. Where there's a loud portion of people always trying to cancel something or find something to be offended by.
Listen.
To want more.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, and the funny thing is that all these people like another thing too is all these people say like this shit is oh, it's not good, it's not whatever, blah blah blah. But think about this. Notice that all their games that are woke have like some form of violence in them, some form of like action, some form of like some form of violence in them usually, right? And the ones that don't have it at all, they usually fail miserably, right? But that's the reason
Yep.
why I bring that up is because guess what? Sex appeal sells, violence sells. And you have like you look at situations like Ed Boon where he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I was embarrassed about what I did before." So you're embarrassed about sex appeal, but you're not embarrassed about making a game where you rip people's skin off, like literally rip the skin off their body. Like, come on, man. Like, I think what makes me the most annoyed about them is that they're liars. I think
Yeah,
that's really what gets me the most agitated about the situation.
yeah. Hey, but here's this cringe one. But this is not Starblade. But this dumbass talking about this bullshit about last. Oh, how the last of Part Two is about Israel Palestine
Oh
conflict.
God. Oh
I'm
my
gonna wait
God.
5 minutes, bro. Listen.
Been out for 2 years now, and it's a game that I really, really enjoyed. I completed it twice over the 2 years, and I really, really appreciated the risks it took and how it pretty much didn't care about fan service, obviously prompting an absolutely huge backlash from incel anti-SJWs who couldn't handle something that happened to some of the characters, which I will talk about a bit later, but this is going to be completely filled with spoilers. I'm not going to mention it straight away in case you've just clicked on this and you don't think it's going to be full of spoilers, but it will be full of spoilers. But today, what I wanted to talk about specifically was the very apparent Israel-Palestine parallel in this game, and it pretty much stems from, I guess, Neil Druckmann's own experience of growing up in occupied West Bank and his experience of following Israeli politics. And you guys can probably even tell from the surface that, like, the WLF are meant to be the Israeli Defense Force, the Seraphites are meant to be the Palestinians. And then we're going to go through all of this. And there's a good Vice article written about this by another Israeli criticizing the more centrist stance of The Last of Us on this conflict. So all of that coming up for you today. But before we go any further, this video will be demonetized, of course. I'm going to be talking about Israel, Palestine, terrorism, all these different things. So it won't be monetized. So if you want to support my work continuing for the future, please consider becoming a patron. I want to build up as many $1 to $3 patrons as possible. And the benefits of that are getting my Nintendo Switch friend code and access to the private patrons Discord server. Also, follow me on social. And the decision to kill off Joel right at the start was something I actually really appreciated. And that might sound weird because we all like Joel to a degree. From the first game, we've been on this journey with him. And of course, at the end, he makes that decision to rescue Ellie and stop the Fireflies from potentially creating a cure. And you're left pretty conflicted about that. And only as I've gotten older, I realized that I would do the same thing as Joel. But when I played that as a 17-year-old, I was kind of like, I wouldn't do that as Joel. Like, I wouldn't save Ellie. So it's kind of nice, like, grow up and realize how I would act in that situation compared to how I thought I would react. And to a lot of fans, that was a controversial ending at the time. A lot of people might not remember if you're younger, but that was controversial.
Yeah, exactly,
And the second
Kintek.
game, they doubled down even more. They're like, we don't care what you like. It's going to be about the story. And I thought his use in the game was perfect in that scene for Ellie's birthday and getting these moments with Joel. It's something you want so bad, and they're just teasing you with it throughout, and he kind of lingers over the whole game. But the actual plot between Ellie and Abby, I think, is far better than the first game, and I actually think Abby is probably my favourite Last of Us character. Just such an amazing performance by Laura Bailey. But of course, like I said, it's not the main part of the plot, because the main part really is about these cycles of violence, cycles of revenge between Ellie and Ali, which can be seen through the lens of Israel-Palestine. But the most apparent part of this Israel-Palestine conflict is, like I said, the conflict between the Washington Liberation Front and the Seraphites, who are essentially like these religious extremists, and I think they're meant to be a stand-in for Hamas. So, like I said, Neil Druckmann grew up in Israel, and I actually have found some clips of him talking to IGN Israel. I'm really, really sorry because the audio on this is absolute garbage. I don't know why it's so bad, but I think it's really important to go into how the director's own life experience has influenced The Last of Us, and there might be other Israelis on the team, there might be other Jewish people on the team, because there's a whole bit about a synagogue, but I think it's obviously most important to point out his relationship to this stuff. So let's quickly look at the IGN Israel interview first, and then we'll just read some articles where he actually talks about the influence of Israeli politics on The Last of Us. Please give us a minute about your work career and how did you start in the gaming industry?
Oh, okay, so we stay high level as much as I can. I grew up in Israel. I grew up in the West Bank in a town called Bethlehem. and I lived there until 89. But my older brother, was really into video games. So from as early as I can remember, we just played computer games nonstop.
Really?
And I actually learned English playing a lot of old adventure games like King's Quest and Space Quest. Those kind of very narrative-driven games. So that was kind of like early inspiration.
And one last question. So we were talking about violence. So it's safe to say that the game main theme are revenge and merciless violence, that you were saying. So was this like your intention all along, or that was something that evolved in time? Is that your way to reflect the unforgiving world of The Last of Us?
I think it's a way to reflect the unforgiving world that we live in. You live in a part of the world, right? You live in a part of the world that's constantly dealing with cycle of violence and retribution, and I know it's much more complex than that. But it's hard to break that cycle. It's really hard. Like, part of the themes or part of the takeaway is that one side can't stop. If only one side stops, it keeps going. It's like both sides have to let go. And again, the game is reflecting the world that we live in with the violence that happens in the game. Some of it is exaggerated because for gameplay mechanics, we're after a certain feeling that might have a bigger body count than a real life situation like that, let's say. But the themes and the philosophical questions are similar. Like, when should you stop? When is it like too much to pursue justice at any cost? And the game ultimately deals with things that even if you are just, even if you are righteous, you can still destroy to pursue it to the nth degree.
So yes, Neil Druckmann did grow up in the West Bank, and he does talk about how the Israeli conflict with Palestine does influence this game because, like the critic in the Vice article says later, is that it's a centrist view that both sides stopped, then you could solve this issue, but it's because both sides keep
What's
going.
up, Game Woody?
So that is quite a centrist view of the conflict because one side is doing something to the other side that the other side cannot even do to the Israelis. Now I want to move on to the Last of Us podcast. Now this podcast is absolutely amazing.
What's up, Game Woody?
Podcast I've ever
Game
listened
of Woody.
So 4 on The Last of Us 1, 4 on The Last of Us 2, interviews people who designed the combat, obviously interviews Druckmann, Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, Laura Bailey.
Yeah.
Lots of audio
Sure.
from the games, scenes from the games. It's really great. If you didn't know this exists, please seek this out. It's so good. I've listened to it about 3 times now. I love these games so much. But here is him talking about the influence of Israeli politics and his own experience on the first Last of Us game.
Funny you say the hard decision, and I think about Joel, and for him it's not a hard decision. It's a no decision. Like, I'm not going to stop to do anything that will put my daughter at risk. And if I go on a tangent real quick.
Oh my god.
I'm originally from
Druckmann
Israel.
sounds like such a bitch.
Politics.
Every time he opens his fucking mouth.
A soldier who was kidnapped and held prisoner for years by Hamas, and then there was an exchange of hundreds of prisoners for this one soldier, and some of the prisoners that were exchanged had blood on their hands, like committed horrible terrorist acts. And there was a big debate in Israel: was it right to like exchange so many people that were in prison for this one soldier to bring him back? And I remember I talked with my dad about it, and I'm like, what do you think? Do you think that was the right decision? And he says, are you asking me as like the soldier's dad or as the prime minister of Israel? Because I would make 2 very different decisions. As the prime minister of Israel, I think they made the wrong decision. I think they're now less safe because they made this thing. As the guy's dad, I would have traded every prisoner in every prison for this guy. And that's really what the story's about. Did the ends justify the means? And it's really so much about perspective. If it was maybe to save a strange kid versus a family, maybe Joel would have made a very different decision. But when it was like his tribe, his daughter, there was no question about what he's going to do.
So there he's kind of talking about how the ending of The Last of Us 1 is influenced by this one event between Israel and Palestine. And from a matter of perspective, you can rationalize what someone like Joel does. So in this context, it's handing over a bunch of Hamas prisoners, I guess, to Gaza and to the Hamas leadership. And in exchange, they give you one Israeli soldier. And like he was saying, if that was your son, then you would do anything. If you were the government of Israel, maybe you might take a different approach, even though they did, trade them back. And because they're less safe, because of this, like in the end of The Last of Us Part 1, Joel chooses to save Ellie, but is the world less safe because there is no vaccine, I guess. So it's clear Israeli politics has always influenced this game. Druckmann also elaborates a bit further on what we heard in that interview with IGN Israel in talking about how it influences the politics of part 2. So an interview or like this profile piece on the Washington Post called The Evolution of Ellie talks about this. So it says, the formulation for Ellie's turn towards darkness can be traced back to the year 2000. Then in his early 20s, Neil Druckmann witnessed news footage of a crowd lynching 2 Israeli soldiers in the West Bank, and they cheered afterward. Druckmann, who grew up in Israel, recalls, it was the cheering that was really chilling to me. In my mind, I thought, oh man, if I could push a button and kill all these people that committed this horrible act, I would make them feel the same pain they had inflicted on these people. The feeling faded, though. Eventually, he looked back and felt gross and guilty for his intense feelings with The Last of Us Part 2. He wanted to explore that emotional tumult on a didactic level. I landed on this emotional idea of, can we, over the course of the game, make you feel this intense hate that is universal in the same way that unconditional love is universal? This hate that people feel that has the same kind of universality. You hate someone so much that you want them to suffer in the same way they've made someone you love suffer. So very clearly, events in Israeli politics have a direct influence on The Last of Us, even though you might not have known it. If you didn't hear Neil Druckmann talk about these events in his life, that influenced his way of thinking. So in this instance, it's seeing this lynching of 2 Israeli soldiers and wanting vengeance against the people who did it, all the people involved, but then later regretting such hateful feeling. And he's saying the universal feeling of love, which is shown through The Last of Us, through the bonds between Joel and Ellie, or Abby and her friends, or Ellie and Dina, you also have the same, I guess, universal emotion of hate. Like the way Ellie hates Abby, or the way Abby hates Joel before she kills him, and I guess about how the cycle of violence is driven by these intense emotions. And Neil Druckmann's role in The Last of Us 2 was bigger than The Last of Us 1, but it's clear he does have this massive influence on both games. Now, I don't know if this is...
Well,
What's
look,
your thought about it? Is personally Israel and Palestine really? Run
but
out of nah.
he's stretching it. First off, I mean, like,
Exactly.
first off, he's stretching the hell out of that, because like just because something is influenced by something doesn't mean that it directly correlates, right? So, for example, like with the X-Men, it's somewhat influenced by civil rights, but that's not like it's not about the civil rights movement, but it's
Exactly.
influenced by it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a distinct difference between the two.
but even then, let's say you
Yeah.
want to say, like, all right, it influenced it. And remember what this guy said in the beginning, in the first game, he didn't have as much of a role as he does now in the second game. And what game is clearly more divisive and has worse writing? And
Yep.
and lastly, with what this
One of the
guy was
guys who
saying,
was working on the first game with him wasn't even there for the second one.
yeah, and remember,
So-
having several writers really makes a big difference. You can like,
Mhm.
you know, like it's a big difference on it, right?
Time
Because
to Chico.
you have one person rein people in, and the other person, and you sometimes you need the other person to help you rein in the story, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is why The Last of Us 2 fails, and I'm gonna explain it right now, right?
Time to you, Jempachi.
I'm gonna explain right now why it fails. All right,
Yeah.
killing off a character like Joel is not a bad thing. I think that the reason why people were pissed at his death was because how he died, not because he died, but how he died, the manner that he died, when he died in the story, and acting out of character, right?
Yeah.
But with The Last of Us 2, you have Joel, like this guy who's like a survivor, and you know made all these choices, just gonna let his guard down with strangers that could be hostile, knowing based off
Yeah.
the first game how one mistake could instantly cost you your life. And like, and also like
Yeah.
here's the other thing, right? Like, if you're gonna kill him off, at least have him die doing something heroic. He literally died off guard, thinking outside of like what's the word, like outside of his acting out of character. He dies, and then it's basically like
That's you acting our character. What personally, I'm gonna be real with you. Well, look at the first one. You can see when he see a stranger, you can see his face go serious, bro.
yeah,
But
but
yeah,
but that
his
but that's
guard
the
his
point.
guard was like always up. Like he knew like
and now he has a daughter to protect. I
Yeah,
doubt he
so
would just let his guard down, even if she was older, at like
yeah.
to strangers.
That's why it
And
didn't
then,
make any sense because
but
again,
Exactly.
it's like a
but
character assassination. He's like doing things out of character, which led to him dying.
Yeah.
but even him dying that way isn't even the worst part, because the
It's
reason why The Last of Us 2 is a pathetic game and is written by idiot, to me it's written by retards, and I'm explaining why right
thank
now.
you. Thank you.
Because you can't say, oh, there's a vicious cycle of revenge, you can't change things, blah blah blah, when your story, you're forced to do these things throughout the story. You're forced as Ellie to kill all these characters, you're forced as Abby to kill all these characters that are like friends and care, and to do so many heinous things to each other that you never have a choice in. So in
Yeah,
the end of the
it's
game,
not like say
it
like
but
Hitman
hold on,
where
hold on,
it's
hold on, hold on, hold on. No, because there's more. At the end of the game, Abby, she chooses to spare Abby because all of a sudden she realizes revenge is wrong or something. Thinks about Joel, loses her fucking fingers. Her last connection to Joel is playing guitar. She
Yeah,
loses
that's
that
true.
and then spares her. And here's the thing: the reason why that ending is so fucking dumb is because over the course of the game, you're never given the opportunity to choose if you want to kill Abby's friends, choose if you want to kill her dogs, or
Thank
choose
you.
whatever you want to do. If you had a choice at the end, then that ending is fine. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So if I played the whole game,
exactly.
let's say I played that whole game and I never was given a choice. I mean, I was given a choice and I just chose not to kill her friends. Then by the end of the game, me sparing Abby all of a sudden makes sense because hey, maybe she doesn't want to, like, in the course of the game she could say, well, I want revenge on Abby, not her friends. I don't want to kill those people. They're innocent, right? Which would be more in character with Ellie anyway. And then at the end of the game, when you finally fight Abby, you didn't kill all her friends. Then you can say, then as a player, you might say, you know what? I came all this way. Maybe it is wrong. Whatever. I didn't do so much damage to her like character, like her life, her like connections with people. So you can have that ending make sense. But or you could kill her. Had you gone around blasting all her friends and killing all these characters, you could say, all right, well, all right, at the end, I came this far, I have to end it, because all those other people's lives are worth, losing their lives was worth nothing. But to have
Yeah,
her do all that, you're never given agency as a player and never respect. Because honestly, it's a form of disrespect, honestly, to the
yeah,
player. Because I
thank
look at
you.
it as like
Thank you.
you think the player has you think the player, you basically aren't giving player the respect to actually make these decisions. That you want the player to pretend that they're all of a sudden sad and heartbroken by the way things turned out when all of it is
True.
contrived. So to me, The Last of Us 2 fails narratively for that reason. If you're going to tell that kind of story and have it end that way, that has to be a choice ending, and you were supposed to make choices throughout the game to justify that
Yeah,
ending.
yeah,
Otherwise, the ending makes no fucking sense, and it just makes all the characters look like they're retarded.
exactly. And jump on. Let me take this. Like, let me give you, let me give for example, like Dead Space. Imagine if they do it a different way like that, and they try and make, maybe Isaac Clarke just like a very, out character. He got to be scared of one, you know, necromorph, and the next minute he's straight away been killed off and properly killed off. And they say that there's gonna be no sequel. How that game gonna turn out? Very, very horrible. And probably to the boss ending, once that monster got hold of him, even though he didn't get a gun, his gun just went out the space, and then the next minute the creature eat him up. And then it's
Yeah.
a lot of message and all that type of stuff. He's gone. It's gonna be over. And also having Nicole probably in maybe as a record saying a lot of type of things to Isaac. And
Yeah.
then if you see
But
how the fan base goes, like the Dead Space fan base, they will be very, very extreme furious, and I'm not gonna like the remake at all that bad if Neil Druckmann do these type of things around it.
and I think the major problem with that game is that they the game was like, to me, like the way I look at that game is that it's written by people that are very hateful. I think that like that game is a real reflection of how hateful the nature of Neil Druckmann really is, and those people where that are writing it. Because like again,
Yeah,
I doubt Neil Druckmann came up with everything on his own. A lot of it has to do with him being influenced by outside sources, right?
yeah,
For
real
sure,
life.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
And the thing is that like again, only a moron I'm sorry, only like a moron or somebody extremely hateful would write you into a position where you kill all of a character's friends and allies only to decide at the end to spare them, leaving a bad taste in the player's mouth. And honestly, I look at that game as a good
Horrible.
indicate when the way people talk about it, right, is a good indicator to me of like where their comprehension is and like where their I don't know how to explain it. Like it's a good measurement stick of like their emotional intelligence, right? Because like there's something like extremely like disconnected about doing that, and justifying it and being okay with it. Like how can you play a game, kill all of a character's friends because you want revenge on that person? They're all in the way. You
True,
kill her pets. How can
true.
you kill all those characters and then at the end be okay with an ending where Abby is just let off scot free because all of a sudden Ellie remembers that revenge is bad? Like
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where like when people defend that game, it shows me that like they have like very low comprehension skills and or even better like
Thank you.
low emotional like I don't know how to explain it, like a sense of like comprehension is one word, but I forgot what I said before, but like just like emotional intelligence, that's what it was. Like doesn't make sense to me, and I think that
Exactly.
that game should have been made where you make choices. I think that would have made I think it would have still been dog shit. It would have still been woke, but at least it would have made more sense.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah,
That's just my 2 cents on it.
yeah, that's true, bro. Absolutely true. Yeah,
Spirit, anything you have to add or say?
yeah. About the Last of Us type of situation. Anything? Spirit? Oh,
Spirit's AFK.
maybe my homie must be sleeping.
Passed out.
Like,
Revenant,
yeah, because Revenant, what's your thought? Because Jim Party make a good, honest statement. Revenant.
give me 1 second.
All right.
yeah, so that game is horrible. Honestly, like I can't see them actually making a Last of Us 3. I don't think it's gonna happen.
But right now, you got the fan base that encouraging, Naughty Dog to create The Last of Us Part 3, bro.
I just don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't think. I think like them saying like, "Oh, we're not sure. We don't feel." I think that's just them knowing that it's gonna be hard for them to sell people on a third game.
Yeah, true. Let me. Okay. Here comes, here comes Spider Steve, and it's. Let me show it to you.
Looks pretty great. That's pretty good. You know what? Let's check out the official website and see if we can learn more about the. Good Lord, what is happening in there? Pre-order. Get 3 days early access. Pre-order. You want to pre-order the season's pass and get 3 days early access. Pre-order. That's
Here comes
four
like
pre-orders
his
on one
scrappy start move.
His journey with 2 upcoming DLCs. You want to play the exclusive Jabba's Fuckhouse?
Yo, what's up, GMS Gaming?
Cosmetic Pep. Pre-order. Are you fucking pre-ordering yet? You know what's funny? If you go to the Arrowhead Games website and just look at it, there's something special about an Arrowhead game. Games should challenge the creativity of the individuals who play them. We want our games to help forge friendships. And look at that.
Meanwhile,
Not
he's
even an advertisement for the
meanwhile
Super
he's
Citizen
he's
edition.
absolutely
I think
trying
this
his
is a
best to
great
sing
way
for
to
a company.
illustrate what AAA gaming has become and what indie gaming has evolved into. The difference in
Nah,
priorities
you
is
don't know
clear, and
in
you
the
might
gaming,
assume,
homie.
heck, man, that's just typical Ubisoft greed and shenanigans. But you're wrong. It's worse than that. What Ubisoft is doing with Star Wars Outlaws is symptomatic of a much greater issue plaguing all of AAA gaming. Recently, Ubisoft dropped the story trailer for Outlaws. I watched it, and I felt apathy. As you know, apathy is death. The gameplay reveal for Outlaws looked solid, but now I'm skeptical.
Maybe it was the boring writing, the generic presentation, or the fact that they're directing people towards the $120 version of the game instead of the standard version. Hello, I like money. Still, I don't remember the last time I felt indifferent to a new Star Wars game. On the flip side, one of my buddies sent me a trailer for a game called Kingmakers. I've never heard of this franchise nor the studio behind it.
Yes, Game Awardy. Yes, at least your response came. What What are you guys' thoughts about Last of Us HBO show? It's great how the show came out and went so fast, and some people on YouTube were trying to act like that was the best show ever. Nah, nigga, it ain't no best show. It ain't no goddamn bitch ass show, bro.
Oh man,
It's horrible.
the hype train is real.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Antonio, what's up?
you know,
It's an ass. Ain't no masterpiece, bro.
yeah. Honestly though, like they'll call anything a masterpiece these days.
Yeah.
Anything, as long as it's a new thing, people will hype it up. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Like, oh, masterpiece, masterpiece, masterpiece. It is horrible, y'all. It is horrible. I don't want to pay anywhere attention to that show, bro. Cause what is it? Basically, Revenant. The character ain't nowhere near identical to the original cast. Nah, it's just all, to be honest, a lot of race swap, and now they trying to destroy, what is it, Joe Couch from the show. No, no, ain't. But to be honest, which ain't true, because we look at Joe. He already got a wife, so ain't no way he ain't like that in the show.
Well,
I was
they're just trying to change him to fit their narrative now because
Yeah,
their thought process with the first game has obviously changed. It's very evident with the second game and what Jim Pachi was saying before of how that game was just handled, well, really mishandled, rather. And now you're seeing with the show where they're continuing to do that. They're doubling down on all the dumb shit that they're doing because it's
true.
it's very clear that Naughty Dog, the studio, is ran by a bunch of activists. That's being led by the biggest activist of them all, which is Neil Druckmann. And the the game and the series is less about what it was before, about like finding a cure, surviving in this new post-apocalyptic world,
Yeah,
this
no,
father
no
daughter type of
Palestine.
bond, the clickers and all that. And then now it's more about having, sprinkling their ideologies into the game, whether if it's subtle or very direct. They're just trying to make it be a lot like that, kind of like with The Walking Dead, where it would have so much focus on the characters and what they're doing, opposed to the actual zombie outbreak that has been going on within the world. And that's essentially what is with The Last of Us. It's really no different because it's like it's less about the virus, and now it's like they're trying to tell like people are kind of like a virus themselves and all that, and it's not very compelling, and it just seems like they're just trying to change what they originally were going to do because now they wanted
But it's
now
revisionist.
yeah, revisionist history. Now Neil wants to change it to what he thinks, what he wants it to be, because his mind has been warped by Anita Sarkeesian and so many other, you know, left leaning activists within the industry and outside the industry. Because now he's also involved with Hollywood, so now his mind is going to be more fucked up than it already was, and it makes sense why he has made comments alluding to him wanting to get out of creating video games and the possibility of there not even being a Last of Us 3 because he rather make shows or movies, whatever it is, and he knows, but he won't admit it, that The Last of Us 2 was very divisive, and I think he's afraid of making it making a new game that will end up, not meeting, the studio's expectations of
It will
what
flop. It
as
will
far as
flop.
sales.
Hundred
Yeah,
percent.
yeah,
A hundred percent will flop because a lot of the Last of Us One's early sales were because I mean the Last of Us Two's early sales was because people um trusted them,
yep.
and now that they've already
And
betrayed the
even then,
trust and
it
said, all right,
wasn't that
no,
good because of the leaks.
yeah, exactly. So people, well,
Exactly.
it's like even with the leaks though, people are naive. They'll make excuses and they'll say things like, "Oh, no, you don't know. No, it's not that. No, the Justice League were clones, or stuff, stuff like that, or whatever. Where like it doesn't matter. They already did a disservice by ruining the series the way they did, and because like people will justify it. Like there's always like that denial phase where people say things like that, like oh, like oh, it's not what you think. Joel dies, but there's more context. Let's wait for context and stuff like that. Even with the leaks, and then it turns out to be exactly what you thought it was. So
Yeah.
and yeah, like Last of Us 3, if they do try to make it, it's gonna fail because people don't trust them now. They know that they're full of shit. They know that they're gonna just make that game's entire purpose was is to sell an agenda. And
Yeah. That too.
also remember that to the people that make those games, right? Like the first, like to people that made the game, with like Neil Druckmann, the first game was about a father. It was more about a father-daughter story, and
Oh,
like doing anything to protect your family.
Aiden.
But the second game is like totally abandons that. Like it's like the politics, like not the politics of him changed, but like he wanted to make a game based on like a lot of the discourse going on and stuff like that. So that's why he chose to go out of his way to do it. And now he like Revenant said, he's trying to warp the story with the show and with Last of Us 2 to change like toward that narrative that he like more the indoctrination that he's under now, the extreme that he believes in now. So if they make a third game, it won't sell well. So he's like trying to act like it's him pulling out and not wanting to do it. But I think deep down he knows that it'll be divisive trash.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
he,
divisive. Wait.
no one there is gonna want to admit it because these people can't take accountability or admit failure. So they'll just like make up a bunch of different excuses or just avoid even talking about it as
Oh,
much as they can.
oh, we don't want to get into politics. Yells do get into politics. Well, we
All
don't
the
want to get into
time. They're the ones who do it. And
Yeah,
then they get mad at
They're,
us
they're the
when
one
we
they're the
bring it
ones who
up.
make everything political.
yeah, yeah. And also, what is it? Even though when they try to come to game, we always trying to like saying they want to push like political stuff. But but when we came to this, they're saying, oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what these guys talking about, y'all. I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah, it's
Played tone deaf game.
yeah, it's bad. Honestly though, I really think like with all this stuff that's come out recently, like with what they were doing and what they've been doing, I think gaming is like in a really like bad state. It's like despite having more money than ever before, like, and I just don't think gaming is doing what they wanted to do. And I think
Yeah, Western gaming, I would say.
ultimately, they see
Even though,
games like Stellar Blade and shit like that, how well they're doing, and other developers are gonna want to copy that success, right? So you're
yeah,
gonna have other Korean games come out, maybe some Japanese games come out, and unless Sony outright that's why Sony's trying to censor this stuff because again, like they're trying to prevent it from getting traction and trying to like create controlled opposition, like trying to have people lose faith in Stellar Blade and shit like that because they're gonna say, well, wait, that means they're gonna
yeah,
lie to us or whatever, and then if I
keep,
trust them again, like
yeah,
they'll be more like it's just
yeah,
it's a way to control the narrative
yeah,
because
true,
they know that if more companies make games like Stellar Blade, it's gonna hurt what they're trying to do. So Sony's gonna either outright start banning games on the console, or they're gonna start trying to force even more censorship so that they can make those games end up becoming controlled opposition because there
yeah,
are some idiots out there that really think that they're really pissed off at Shift Up instead of being mad at Sony, where Sony is the one
Exactly.
who
Not
created the
it's
problems.
it's Sony, bro. Sony, goddamn Sony. Even though the developer, the Japanese developer, all the time you just call out Sony, like they're the one ruined the studio.
I
And
kind
my
of like.
homie, like King Tech, yeah, Game Boy never took my interest, to be honest. I still watch those old videos, The Wire, Oz, Boardwalk, Empire, Supernatural, Spartacus type of Western TV shows. Yeah, and you say facts, King Tech. I no longer trust Naughty Dog with Volition. Saying them me, homie. Saying them me, mods.
Yeah, the Game Mafia. That's exactly what it is,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
The Game Mafia.
Game, no, it ain't no sweet baby. It's what is it? It's
Stank Baby.
Satan. No, it's Satan Inc. Oh no, Satan Baby Inc. I'll call
Yeah.
them.
I call it Sad Bitches Inc. But anyway, like,
Yeah,
but
they
yeah,
like
like they're gonna keep on doing this stuff. But in the end of the day, I think developers like Shift Up and like the CEOs need to start calling out Sony so that they can save face and they can say, hey, look, I know some. I've had people say like, "Oh, it could be legal ramifications," but they should just say it. Like they don't even have to disparage Sony directly. They just have to say, "Yeah, sorry about the censorship, guys. Sony wanted us to do it, so it was the only way to get the game out to you, or whatever." And yeah, they can have a stance like that, which seems neutral. They're just saying what happened, but then the gamers will be able to put two and two together and say, "All right, it's fucking Sony."
let's go. Let's
and
go.
shi- and
Yeah,
shift and
that's
shift
true.
and shift the focus on Sony. And I think the no pun intended, but the CEO should really make a statement saying that saying that hey, like people are saying that I'm talking about like saying, oh, Sony, fuck you, Sony, you ruined our game or whatever. Like he doesn't have to say that. All he has to say is yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, we intended for the game to be released this way, but due to Sony wanting us, Sony's guidelines, we had to make some changes. We hope you still enjoy the game. That's a simple way to say that it's Sony's fault without actually like attacking Sony, but it will allow
Yeah,
the viewer.
not yeah, like them not being direct, but I agree. Shift Up and Sony should both like address it and make it clear like what they're gonna do. Like if they're not gonna remove the censorship, then say it, because it's gonna make things worse if you give people false hope or you just finally address it and then it's like you know there's
Exactly.
no clear resolution as when it comes down to the problem, because people want them to address it, but they also want them to remove it. So if they're not going to remove it, say so and maybe explain why. But they can't just say like, "Oh, we're aware of people's issue or whatever with it," and then they can't just leave it at that because people don't want that answer, and
And they're gonna
rightfully
blame
so.
Shift Up, and they, and then
Yeah,
yeah, and Shift Up needs to say something. And what I think they should do is, if they didn't sign a multi-game with Sony, a multi-game deal with Sony, they should say, "Hey, you want our game on there next for the next thing? Then you're gonna do our uncensored vision."
yeah,
And then Sony will, because like you could argue, you could say, well, Shift Up won't make money if they say no, but I guarantee you, if the success of Stellar Blade, Sony would not want to miss the money that they can make if they just support, if they just allow the game to be released as intended. Because again, nothing in Stellar Blade, even in the uncensored version, is so egregious that it's like I don't know how to explain it. Like it's like even uncensored, the game's not that bad. Like I don't really see like why they had to censor this. No,
yeah. It seemed
it
unnecessary, and
seems
you can
fake. It
and you
seems
can
fake.
tell by how like the censored outfits are that it was such a last minute thing that they did,
Yeah, because it doesn't
and
even look like it's part of the costume. It just
at
looks like
all. It looks really bad. It's
it's
like
cheap.
how they
Harbor,
censored
bro.
Tifa's cowgirl outfit in the
Yeah,
flashback.
yeah, because
Like
it's
it
like
just doesn't
Not
make
that
sense
good,
at all.
bro. Not
because
that good.
the costume doesn't look like, it doesn't look like they like. I'm not, there's no good censorship, but what I mean by this is that a way to make it look better is that the added material should look like it's part of the clothing. But with the censorship that they did in Stellar Blade, it looks like it's just like it would be like as if you were wearing like shorts under your underwear or something. It doesn't look right. It looks weird.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know how to explain it. I think you
yeah.
know what
I
I
get what
mean.
you're saying. It's just like
Like
it.
you had like a woman was wearing a bikini but then they made her wear like a man's underwear underneath the bikini, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck, like,
Right.
So in the end, I'm not saying that censorship is good. They shouldn't have added it at all,
Yeah.
but like it's so half-assed, and the developer of Shift Up, the CEO, he's really underestimating how many people bought the game because they wanted to
Hmm.
support like a true creator's vision,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
a creator not afraid to show the world what he really likes and what people know they like, and so many people that are like are left or woke, they're lying to themselves, but
Hmm.
deep down they know what they like and what they want, and the fact that
true.
he made that unapologetically was why people wanted to support them. I think that if he doesn't call this out or they don't remove the censorship, I think that they're gonna be surprised at how many people don't support the second game. I think they're really underestimating how much that actually did help them.
Yeah, exactly. Because we all know what is it, companies banning their customers, and they have to like listen to these type of mainstream media people.
Because it was clear that Sony bullied them into doing it. I'm using the word bullying because it's very
Yeah,
clear
it's
that's
true,
what
true,
happened.
true.
That they were bullied.
Yeah, they're absolutely bullied, bro.
They got bullied, and then since they got bullied, and they did what Sony wanted. They caved. Honestly, I really think they should have told them no. Because what would have happened was the game would have been delayed. Maybe it would have been
Good
delayed if he said
one,
no. And if they
good
said
one,
no,
bro.
the game would have been delayed. And then when they say, "Oh well, we paid for this game, we want it," and all they have to say is that we want to release the game as intended. Sony doesn't want to let us do it, and that would immediately make the people that purchase the game say, "Wait, they're actually standing up for themselves," and they might even tolerate the game being delayed, which would pressure Sony into releasing the game as intended.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
how I see things playing out, because there's no way
yeah.
Sony's going to invest all that money just to have them say, just to say, all right, then don't release the game on our console then, and then we're going to have a lawsuit, when they could just
Hey,
remove the little piece of fabric there and allow the game to be released.
hey, hey, let me read this. The CEO of Saint Tim Baby Inc. and Anita Sarkeesian was calling gaming companies to be cancelled because lack of diversity bullshit. Yet Insider proved that at one point they put fuck white people sign. Well, funny thing, Anita Sarkeesian white. But funny thing,
Yeah, well,
I
she's
thought
she is
she
she
cared
white?
about the whole situation.
Is she white or is she Armenian? Like, isn't Armenian like more like considered like a Middle Eastern kind of like thing? I don't know.
She can go fuck herself. Cry,
I mean,
baby bitch.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Fuck her, but I don't think she's even white. Like, I think she's like Middle Eastern
No,
technically.
she doesn't look white. Yeah. She
I would
might be
assume that
mixed
she's.
or
I think
something.
she's like Armenian or
Like
something.
half black, I think.
No,
Yeah.
her last name's
Mm,
Sarkeesian.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
Oh,
it's
I
like
thought. I'm
it's
Some
like
sorry. I'm getting mixed.
it,
I'm getting
it's like
mixed
when
up with
people say Kim
Kim Belair. I'm
Kardashian.
sorry.
People
I'm
think
sorry. I
Kim
got mixed up with
Kardashian
Kim
is white.
Belair.
Kim.
these
Yeah,
companies and those IGN type of gaming, yeah, Caucasian, yeah, fucker.
yeah,
These companies and
yeah.
those
Kim
IGN
Kardashian's not
type of
white
gaming journalists are
either.
front business, so
No,
they
no, she's
can
not.
bully people and force them to make games they want.
I really think
Yeah,
that
again,
Shift
true,
Up
bro,
CEO
true.
should have said that. All he had to say was, "We're gonna release the game as intended," and then Sony's gonna be like, "No, you're not," and they're gonna threaten to sue them. And what happened is that Shift Up would just like the thing is not that they can't win; it's just that they don't want to do it. You get what I'm saying? So to me, it's kind of like a little bit of the fault of Shift Up as well, because shift in
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
regard that Shift Up
they should have known better,
they
or
should have
just should
fought
have like
harder.
had some type of clause where in a contract where
Yeah,
they can't get involved or something. Just they should just covered all their bases to make sure this would never happen. And honestly, so many
exactly.
years has gone by where Sony's been doing this type of shit. They should have known better.
Yeah. And remember, like, you have to be willing, like, your ability to have free speech or do what you want to do is is dependent on your ability to fight back, right? So if you're not willing to fight back,
thank
then
you,
anyone can do
bro.
whatever they want
Thank
to
you,
you.
thank
They
you.
can do whatever the hell they
Good,
want to you. So
good point there. Thank you,
so Shift
King
Up should
Tut.
have said, or
Thank you.
Shift Up should have said, we're gonna sue your ass because you're making us look bad. You're making you're damaging our reputation when we said we're going to release an uncensored game. You allowed us to make that game. You saw the development along the way, and then you forced us to cancel it last second. That's grounds to sue because in the, you know, if you're a gaming company, your perception is a big deal. You know,
That's true.
and
Yeah.
like I said, the game would have been delayed for what, maybe a couple weeks, but Sony would have had to cave because there's no way Sony's gonna let their multi-million-dollar investment that would have been a big hit for them lead to a lawsuit where the game isn't released and damages both Sony and Shift Up just because they want to cover fucking Eve's hips slightly more. Like, is that really worth all the damage that would occur? But Shift Up, unfortunately, they bitched out last second and they caved. And that's really like the thing that I have to fault them for. They should have fought to protect their vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, for all we know, they could have
They
said
should have.
backstage, like,
They should have known that from the start.
and for all we know, they could have told Sony that, and then the game being as censored as it was, they probably wanted even more censorship, and they fought for it. But regardless of the fact, they should have still fought more. If they fought to release the game as it is with the patches, that's still not enough fighting. They should have fought to release their fully uncompromised vision because nothing in this game is that bad or anything that we haven't seen much more extreme from Sony games, and not even in the past, like even like the last 10 years, like Last of Us, Witcher 3, all these games. So Baldur's Gate, there's no excuse. And honestly, I think it's just Sony being malicious and trying to you know, do certain things with their narrative.
That's
Yeah.
true, bro.
You know, so I'm sorry if I come across preachy because I try not to be preachy, but it's just to
You're
me
not,
the
you're not
reality of the
preachy, bro.
situation.
Don't, you're not preachy, homie. You know, you're telling good things. I know you always been loyal to it. What happened? Oh, Chico speaking.
Like, it's just crazy. You could boot up Witcher 3.
Exactly. Here we
You could
go.
you could boot up Witcher 3 and see fucking titties
Yep. You can see
unedited,
Geralt half naked, like
and
within 10
having
minutes of the
sex. You
game.
see, like, you see the girls riding them, taking it
Yeah.
doggy style or whatever. It's
Yeah.
just
Exactly, bro.
they don't show their parts, like their lower bits, but it doesn't matter. You see them naked, you see their titties, you see them having sex clearly. Like, that's way more extreme than Eve wearing a freaking
Nah,
Playboy
give my
bunny
body. She's
bunny outfit.
Caucasian.
Witcher 2 had a fucking whorehouse as well.
Bro, a last name being Sarkeesian is not Caucasian. She
No,
might
it's
be
not.
white. She might be white skinned,
Oh,
but
okay.
that white light skin does not mean Caucasian.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. So she's more Middle Eastern. Sarkeesian is like Armenian. Like, there's places in Iran where you could look at women from Iran and they look Caucasian, but they're not Caucasian. They're Middle Eastern. You know?
Yeah. Anyway. Let's go. Let's go, Kinturk. Game of Woody. She's belong to our Swan Enemy Nation.
Yeah. Just like
She's
Kim Kardashian.
Armenian, just like Kim Kardashian. Fuck the Kardashian families, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So you get that in God of War as well.
Yeah,
The point,
Ghostly win. Yeah, true. Ghostly win.
but the point is that the censorship in Stellar Blade is not done for like to protect people's eyes and shit. It's fake. It's a lie. That's what gets people mad. And I hate the argument like where people say, "Oh, you're just mad because you can't see a little more titty or whatever." It's like that's not the
Oh,
point. I hate that
exactly,
argument because
bro.
it's such a fake argument.
Yeah,
It's like
retard
they're
argument.
they're creating an argument that no one ever made. People are upset because they censored it and because Sony are hypocrites. And even Sony refuses to
Yeah,
acknowledge
they're
acknowledge
always
it,
been damn
Yeah.
hypocrite, bro.
That's the problem. People are tired of censorship.
especially when
That's
it's
the thing.
fucking
It's
stupid.
not like, oh, people want to see porn or this, that, or whatever. It's like, no, it's not about that. Because if it was really that, we can easily go to that.
And
We're not
watch
looking
free
to,
porn.
for
Porn
yeah,
is
we're not
free.
looking for a game for that. And
Bro.
the same people are talking shit about this, appraising Last of Us 2,
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, all these other games that have all this sexual explicit content that Stellar Blade does not have.
Yeah.
There's no scenes within the game where she's getting her back blown by Adam or whoever. She's not. There's no sexual like scenes at all. She
It's
acts
not at
less
all.
sexual than fucking Bayonetta. She's not even
She doesn't.
close
She
to how
doesn't. She
Bayonetta
doesn't
would
even.
act.
She doesn't even act sexual at all.
Yeah, she
Her
doesn't flaunt,
characters.
flaunt
Her character
or
in the
do anything
game.
like that.
Yeah.
Her character in the game is very stoic.
Yeah, she
You
just
know
so
what's?
happens to have a nice
She's just
body
hot. She's
and
just
and
hot.
and you know
sexy
some
outfits.
revealing sexy outfits, and a lot of them are also like she's covered up or she has like the ski
Honestly,
suit on.
most of them she's fully covered up. Actually,
Yeah,
she just has a hot body. It's like anything this woman wears in this game is gonna look sexy on her because she has a busty body. So even
Yeah.
the tame outfits look sexy, but there's so many outfits that are covered up where she's just dressed like any. She's actually a lot of the costumes come across as like modeling outfits. You know,
Yeah.
there's like maybe 3 or 4 outfits where they're like straight up like sexual, and even then, it's never mentioned in the story. It's never a big part of the story, and of course, she's covered up completely in all of them.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
so it is what it is. I think that a lot of people are. I think a lot of people making that fake argument, they know that it's false, and they're just saying that because
True,
it's
bro.
like
True.
they're trying to win an argument with broken logic instead of actually thinking for
Thank you,
themselves.
bro. And that's the thing. That's the thing I hate. Like those dude just trying to use the broken logic, and you know it's not. It's not gonna work by us, bro. Exactly. Also, these games are rated M, so what's the point? Is even. They're making up their own argument on why censorship is needed. Yeah, true,
Yeah.
Antonio. True.
Yeah, they're making fake arguments. It's not real arguments. Like again,
Yeah.
you can't in one breath say you love Baldur's Gate with all the shit that's in that game, and then say that you have a problem with Eve. Like those people
Yep.
that say
It
that,
makes no
like
sense.
they think it's like some kind of gotcha moment, but in the end of the day, they just make themselves look like they're retarded.
And
Like
hypocrites as well. They're just as hypocritical as Sony and the game journalists that are constantly trying to censor these type of games.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Because they're going along with the censorship and defending it as much as they can and trying to downplay what's happening. But
And they
we
don't
know
even
we know what they're doing, and
and they don't
it's
even
very clear.
and they don't even fully understand the arguments that they're making.
No, they don't, because
because
it's
so
like
many people say
the
like,
counter
oh,
argument makes no sense and doesn't debunk the issue
anything.
that's going on. Yeah, anything at
They'll,
all.
they'll say like, oh, we don't want to. You guys are just mad because you want to see 2 inches of more titty or whatever. It's like it was never about that. If you think that's what the argument
Exactly,
is
bro.
about, then
Exactly.
you should instantly be dismissed because you're a corporate slave. To me, those are the kind of people that will bend over for the government no matter what happens. Like that's the
Thank
kind of
you,
person
bro.
that cannot be. That's the kind of person that in Nazi Germany would have ratted your ass out for like hiding
Oh
under
yeah,
Yep.
shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
a Revenant. Not
Right.
not just that. Like the guy called AT. Like Andrew Tate, we expose the government, and everyone go nuts. Hmm?
What was that?
Oh, just like AT. Andrew Tate,
Yeah.
Oh
he
yeah.
exposed the
Yeah.
government, bro, and
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
nuts.
The
Yeah.
thing about Andrew Tate is that he said so many things that now honestly, don't be surprised if like, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying this would happen or that it should happen, just for the record, because I'm saying this like publicly. I think that they'll try to eliminate Andrew Tate because he has so much influence still, and he's saying things that don't go against their way, go against their they go against their agendas, that they're gonna eventually end up doing something to him. That's what I think. I hope not, but I really think that's what's
Ye-
gonna happen
Yeah,
because they already tried throwing him in jail.
yeah,
That's the first tactic. Try to throw a guy in jail because to silence him. If that doesn't work, you know what the next tactic is. You should
yeah,
expect that.
exactly.
So you know,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Congrats, man.
so again, bro, like one day, you know what's the sad thing? People are gonna realize how bad censorship was, and then it'll be too late.
True, Game and Waddy. True. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Wody,
Yeah.
that's funny, bro.
Game, we put some points.
Gamer Wody, Gamer Wody is real. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
I told you.
I never said he wasn't.
I'm just saying. I told you about. I told him like, oh, you gotta watch a Game of Water. He keeps it real.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly.
Because like in the end of
Those,
the day, man, like they're basically trying to say big gay okay, sexy women bad.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
What do you
that's what
mean? What do you mean you don't want to see big gay? You bigot? Like
yeah.
they. One sec.
it's funny because if you told people in the '90s this is what they would have to deal with, and then you would show them Eve from Stellar Blade and say it was censored, in the '90s they would have laughed at you and said, "Yo, that's crazy." They would have
Yeah,
laughed and said
they would
impossible.
have point and laugh like the
They would
Simpsons
say
meme.
they censored. They're gonna say this. They censored that. They ain't gonna censor that.
Yeah, they'd be like, damn, like these people are real bitches if they're really doing that.
Come on, bro. Remember all the think about all the JRPGs in the PS2. Think about games like Star Ocean. Remember how
Yeah,
how
I
some of
have
those characters were
no
dressed? Come on,
problem
man.
with those games, bro. I have no problem. It's a good game, good artwork.
Play any old PS2 like JRPG, and there's costumes that are way more revealing than what Eve wears. Way, way more. Hell, even
Yeah,
some of the costumes in that Star Ocean game. Was that witch character?
Oh yeah, and
Remedy, you know.
integrity and faithlessness. I forgot her name. She had the green
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah,
she
that
has some
character is
crazy
dressed. And that
I
character,
can't
then you
remember
have
her
like
name.
you have Dragon's Crown and stuff like that. Like games in the
Oh,
past,
yeah, yeah.
like this was never an issue. They're trying to make it controversial because here's the thing. Then you have your average person. They're gonna say, oh well, they end up winning when people say like, oh, they'll never get away with that today. Oh, I can't believe they released that now because that means that they're winning. That means that they're conditioning people to think that this is outside the norm now. You know. So that's another reason why people should act like this shit is normal and treat it like it's normal because it is. They should treat
yeah,
the sexy female characters like people should praise it, but they also shouldn't say. I feel like that language is giving power to their argument when you say, "Oh, that would never come out today," or like, "I'm surprised something this crazy came out," or whatever. Like, you got to just enjoy it, and like, it's like thinking that it's like when you win something and you act like you know you were supposed to win. You know what I mean? You're not surprised you won.
yeah, yeah. That's sure. But to be honest, Percy, we look at the inside by yourself. You always won, bro. You always won. And by the way, guys, even though you're not like it, even though it's about 15 minutes, then I have to go because my phone is about to die. But by the way,
Actually, I'm
yeah,
probably gonna. Yeah, yeah.
by the way, Yels, I want you to listen to this. But this would be hilarious to the end. Listen to this.
Like that. To me, those kind of games are just, they're not a big deal. The one exception I would say is Nier Automata. And why was that the exception? Because that game had a crazy fourth wall breaking plot, the likes of which we still haven't seen since then. That game was written in such a complex, interesting way that it made me, after your urging, want to go back and see the rest of it. And that really got me. That is not Stellar Blade
He's
at
a
all.
fucking liar.
Stellar Blade is
He's so disingenuous.
For real. Just what a reach.
that is literally designed.
All you have to do is play the game.
Get people to buy the game. The game.
All you have to do is play the game and know that the story is deeper than what he's saying.
What you're going to have is people perving out in my chat constantly. There's no reason in my content for that. I'm not playing it, period. There's no reason to ever bring it up ever again. To me, it doesn't exist. You might. That's fine.
Wow, this guy sounds so lame.
I can't play it.
People
I'm not
perving
playing
out in my
He
chat.
he's
Okay.
one of those words that I'm not going to say on here. But
The Melanie Mac word.
the Melanie Mac word is what he is. Yeah.
People still think you're that guy. I'm not. That guy disappeared 7-8 years ago.
Yep.
I grew up immature.
Oh, okay. It disappeared 7. Yeah. Exactly what I said before. That guy disappeared 7 or 8 years ago when he was afraid of backlash because he's a puss.
Bayonetta 2,
Exactly.
Right? Which actually was a long time ago on the Wii U. I didn't like that either. I outright said to you guys, man, it's all right, but it's kind of boring. The whole appeal again is the fucking half-naked woman. It's stupid. I'm not entertained by that. It's not entertaining to me in any way, shape, or form. I've outgrown that kind of content. That content was for a different audience. When I was younger and I was trying to appeal to teenagers on YouTube, that's when that content made sense. I just don't get it anymore. And you know what I'm saying? I don't like it. I'm not going to enjoy it. The audience is going to act like a bunch of dumb kids. There's no point.
It's like he has an IV of soy going in his blood and he's becoming more and more soy as he continues talking. Like what the hell is this man saying? Like
Exactly, bro.
honestly, bro, like is he even said it him? He basically exposed himself. 8 years ago, I changed. What happened 8 years ago? All these people, all these SJWs started going crazy.
Exactly, bro.
So there you go. It shows you everything you need to know about that guy.
Yeah.
Like
Jason Smith says 90% of people who hype it are only interested in jerking their meat. There you go.
yeah, you know what's funny? What's funny? He'll play a bloody ass game. So I'm gonna assume because he plays these violent games, which I'm sure he does, that he
Yeah.
likes them because he's a psychopath that wants to see death. That
Yeah.
must be what it is. That's like the same argument. Like, oh, because you want to play a game with sexy women, you want to beat your meat to it. So, all right, if you play a game with violence in it, then you're a mass murdering enthusiast, and you enjoy watching people die because you're a psychopath. Both arguments are disingenuous. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly, bro.
But it's the same kind of argument. And like honestly, bro, like somebody like that, I can't like. I'm surprised his subscribers didn't unfollow him after that
Exactly, because what I mean, I'm gonna be
en
real with
masse.
yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, because what they do, they do e-begging, 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 and cry all the time. E-beg, oh, you're not paying me more money, and even though they're not even watching them, they go mad online on Twitch, e-begging, e-begging, getting so rage and all that, and that's you see how companies trying to do it, trying to follow these type of stuff, how how most what is it most like women cry all the time when what was it we got like millions of mans not watching them or not paying them, they get so mad, oh pay me more, I need the money. Yeah, but Game Woody always right, bro, always right, homie, always right.
That's why like I can't be like it. See, like I'm working on my own projects. Like if I get like backlash like that, and they're saying that stuff to me, I'm gonna tell people to kiss my ass.
That's
Like
how it has to be.
I'm gonna tell them, like I will tell them kiss
Because
my ass.
you know
Exactly, bro.
that's not your audience. So
Yeah, I
people
don't care.
who are being offended or taking issue with it, it's not for them. They have to deal with it. They can go to something else that caters to them because there's
Play
plenty of
Last of
that.
Us
There's
2.
plenty of that around. It's funny
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they'll want everything to be changed as if all these other companies are not catering to them as it is.
yeah,
Yeah,
You know what I
all
mean?
to
all
their own detriment. To
Yeah,
their own
all
detriment, they're
yeah.
catering to
Because we
them.
see how it's turning out. Disney's failing. Marvel, DC, a
exactly,
bunch
bro.
of other game studios, Naughty Dog, all the fucking layoffs within EA, Activision, Sony, Microsoft. All these other companies. Volition shutting down. This studio shutting down. Uh, you know, there's a clear indication as to why because they keep trying to cater to the wrong people, and now and then they're uh they're paying for it.
They're failing, bro, they're failing. And
Yeah.
guys, let me say this, and we need to get our head up. We need to be like self-aware now. We need to say this right now. And the one point I'm gonna make is a good one. The thing we came to these corporate shills, they'll always find a way how to like flag a video, or they'll make a complaint to YouTube, contact YouTube saying, "Oh, these people try to take me out of character." Like
When they're not.
yeah, exactly. And even though we try to make response video, look how much they cry, but it's okay. They can make response video to you.
And then they can take what you're saying out of character.
Yeah, but
That's what
they
they
get
do. It's
hurt
like because then
most.
Well,
a
you
lot
know
of
what else
times,
too? All the
Yes.
words all the terminology you can use to them, they have turned into hate speech, and then they can basically
yeah,
use like words like call you chud, incel, call you all kinds of crazy or whatever crazy shit, and
Yeah.
whatever buzzword.
and they don't receive backlash for it.
Yeah, and let me tell
Yep.
you this, bro. Even though if you make response video back, they might like strike down your channel or false flag it to YouTube, try to like abuse their system because they got no argument. Because you
Yeah.
know what?
So
You know
they
what?
just try to silence anyone
A game
as
called a
much as they can.
detractor. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, these people try to like take me out of context or to try to destroy my character.
Yeah, so you should have
Those
a gamer
type of dumb
Wody
ass
appear on
stuff.
the podcast one day.
Yeah, exactly. Because we need him. And guys, that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
it'll just be
we
another
need
perspective
we
to
need
talk.
this dude to
Hmm.
like at least speak about gaming and what his thought about what is it, the history on Black Culture game, and how he wants to represent it in a good way. because
I think I agree. Like, look
yeah,
at
because
Saints Row.
personally,
Look at Saints Row 2,
yeah, exactly,
Saints Row 3.
because for
Compare
example, we
compared to the
need
reboot.
like we need his own thoughts about open world games and all, so he can discuss it with us too.
Well, look at
Yeah.
Saints Row. That they try to make
They
it they try to be sensitive toward gang culture and shit, and try not to, like, they became more culturally sensitive, and then Saints Row 3 suffered. Then they try to go away from that even more, and try to be
yeah.
like and try to be like go even farther away from that. Then
I
Saints
just
Row 4
don't want to
suffered.
talk
Then they
about
try to go against the
Paul,
violence and the
Paul,
talk.
and also the fake ass 2022.
But what I'm saying is that
Yeah,
but here's the point I'm trying to make,
they're
Reborn.
making good
Within
points.
each game, they've been, since Saints Row 2, they've been straying away from what the fan base was. The
Exactly,
fan base
bro.
for 2 and 1, they
Like me,
liked the
bro.
game because they liked the gang culture. They liked all that stuff in the game. That's what made it fun. It was entertaining. It was an exaggerated form of gang
Exactly,
culture.
bro.
Then in
Yeah.
Exactly,
Saints
bro.
Row 3, they try to be culturally more sensitive, right, toward like the hood and toward African American communities. And what happened was is that Saints Row 3 became more of like an Adult Swim show. It was still funny, but it lost a lot of like the grit and like the gang parody that they were doing in the second
It
game.
lost the
But then
whole damn thing, bro.
in four they went away from the
Hard work,
from it even
bro.
more, and it
What?
became like an entirely game in general and a different
Marvel,
game.
Marvel bullshit. Marvel
Then
bullshit.
in the reboot, they try to go away from even like the anti,
Yeah, the
like
identity of it. Yeah,
the politically incorrect humor, and then you end up with a game that was for nobody. So it's like
exactly,
people
bro.
forget that they've been progressively killing their own series.
Yeah,
Yeah, and also not
yeah.
to mention Ages of Main. They try to
We
just go away
will
from the series
support your
entirely
brother,
as much as they can.
Tejas. Yeah, we will. Yeah,
So in the end of the day, like Saints Row is an example of how they betrayed their audience.
Yeah,
And
and you're seeing with so many other like studios doing the same thing. It's like they
yeah.
never learn because they're
Like
so stuck in their ways.
Warhammer, bro. Warhammer.
they talked about like how Saints Row 2, like how they don't want to offend people like that are like from inner cities or whatever and shit like that. But then think of everyone that I know personally, like from where I grew up, that they like that game. So I don't know who
Yeah,
are
the
these
Bro,
same.
people that
Yes,
are
same
yeah,
here. It's like
even
no
though
one had an issue
allegedly
with it.
majority
offended.
of people like that game, but they killed it off because of maybe 3 and probably 4.
It's because they're listening to people who don't know what they're talking about, and they're trying to convince you that
Exactly, bro.
their feelings are the truth when they're not.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
not everyone thinks like they do.
yeah. And right now they were listening to degenerates like probably like Logan Paul or maybe some people that watch kids shows like Jimmy Neutron or other type of stuff. Like people like because we all know like they are listening to like the rainbow gender people because they think like Jimmy Neutron for Saints Row might save that franchise, but which is not, or probably like Ubisoft Rainbow Rabbits and all that, you know, crazy kid game which nobody don't ask for about Saints Row. Until but Saints Row is supposed to be from the original ground up, open world crime game with full on gritty gangster and all that type of shit.
Yeah, exactly. In
But
fact, they should have doubled down on the gritty gangsterness. That would have been crazy. That would have
yeah,
been even better.
yeah,
If only.
like Game of Woody saying, volitions on crack or coke when they're doing the developing.
Yep. That's why they're no longer around.
Yeah, that's why they're not around. Exactly.
They could have turned things around, but they chose not
Yeah,
to. That's on them. A bunch of people keep wanting to make excuses for them. It's like fuck them. Like let them take accountability. Just like all these other studios, they keep losing their way. They want to bring activists in, and then in the people who were there for like decades or from the start are fucking
Leaving
indoctrinated with this woke virus going on,
yeah,
or
and
and
leaving or
also
leaving.
they
one
allow it, and they start
one
believing it themselves, and they
yeah,
incorporate all that dumb shit, you know, into their games, hoping that ESG is gonna save them, but it's
no
not because
BSC ain't
no
gonna
one gives a fuck
save
about
It's
their
not
them.
games.
enough.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. It's not enough,
It's
and
not
they
no,
enough.
think it is because they're so out of touch. They got their heads so far up their asses that they don't see like that
Yep.
it's important to actually care about your audience to give them what they really want, not to a bunch of people who never cared about your games to begin with, and a bunch of investors at BlackRock. who ultimately won't bail them out because
eventually they won't be able to.
Yeah,
eventually they
exactly.
won't want to.
Yeah, the well will go dry at some point,
Yeah,
and it
that's
did for Volition.
absolutely true. Yeah, absolutely true.
It's gonna go out for Insomniac as well. Because if you make a
Yeah.
$300 million
them
game
too.
and it
Yeah,
doesn't make
and
300,
you got-
if they don't make 300 million back, so if they don't make six to
it's gonna be
700 million,
bankrupt.
damn near $1 billion on their, if they don't get a damn near 100% increase on their return, that'll kill the company. That'll kill the
Yeah, that
game.
Yeah.
kill the
Remember,
damn.
if it makes 300 million and it only makes back 400 million or 500 million, that's not enough. That's not
It's not.
enough. You need more.
bro.
You need to
Not
make
enough.
like almost double.
Yeah.
So whatever
very
your revenue,
double.
whatever if you make a game for 300 million, you're to be profitable for real, you need like 600 or 900 million, which is almost $1 billion. And then you're gonna make a divisive game with that kind of investment. You're gonna dare try to make it divisive. Like, come on.
The thing is, all these studios be thinking like they're Rockstar. They can have these like hundreds of $1 million budgets and think they're gonna make that within a week once it comes out.
And not only that, with Rockstar, here's the thing about Rockstar. Rockstar, they're not immune, because if GTA 6 is bad, they might get away with GTA 6, but they won't get away with a second or third time.
3, Red Dead Redemption 3, if there ever is one, or GTA 7, or whatever the next game may end up being. Like if GTA 6 fucks up and has a bunch of like modern day bullshit in it, then people got to take notice of that, and they're not gonna come back for the next game.
Dead, bro. It's be dead.
Look at Assassin's Creed. Look at Assassin's Creed though. Assassin's Creed was a money maker, and look what happened. It took them a while. It took them a while, but eventually they ended up failing so much that now they're in trouble. So even a big franchise, if you keep doing repeated failures, then eventually you're gonna end up even dying. You're gonna also die.
Hey guys, I'm gonna say this. Listen, because bearing no shout spare paradox. Bearing no Ubisoft killed the 2 Assassin's Creed off, because Spirit Paradox talk about the league when it comes to Assassin's Creed Hexy, they're gonna go on full power. I mean, they're gonna make that game over the top. No stealth and action adventure, no, to be something else. And I say, yep, that's it for me. I ain't gonna buy none of their bitch ass game, bro. Nah. Well,
I was done after Odyssey. I tried to give Odyssey a chance, and it's like
I was done after 3.
Yeah.
For the franchise, bro.
I kept trying to give him a chance, and like, maybe it'll be good. And to be fair, like when I bought Odyssey, I was like, it was more so like, all right, I kind of looked at it more like a new RPG game than a new Assassin's Creed game, and even that like didn't really sit well with me.
By the way.
And and then it's like I'm thinking to myself, like I'm just adding on to the nonsense going on with the game, where it's like you're not buying it because it's Assassin's Creed, you're buying it because it's trying to be something else, and that's like one of the worst things for you to do as someone who should be a fan of a series, and then it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna get this for some other reason because it's not what it's supposed to be. And at some point we all got to realize that if it's not if it's no longer what it was, then why should we even bother with it? Just let it die a miserable death, because the people in charge don't care about it anymore, and we need to not care about it either, and speak with our wallets and say, I don't care about this anymore, because the studio involved don't care, which is very obvious, because they rather
the fact that they even went an RPG route shows you they don't care.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
all.
Yeah, so they just want to you want to strip it from its identity to be something else, in hopes that it sells very well, because they just want to
keep the franchise going.
Yeah, keep the franchise going by chasing trends, like a bunch of studios are making RPG games, so let's go in that direction too, and make a wannabe Witcher 3 clone.
To be honest, and even then, think about it. It's so much cooler to like sneak behind somebody and just insta kill them because you did everything. It's better. If I don't want RPG mechanics in an assassin game. It makes no sense.
Yeah, and then when you play it, it's like it doesn't feel very good when you think about it.
My
I mean,
whole
when
point
you
though,
know,
my whole point though is they've been lost their way because their plan after 3 was to kill off Desmond so that they could just infinitely pump out games without having to care about the overarching plot.
yeah,
But
you're right.
that hurt them because all right, like I'll give credit where credit's due in some way. Black Flag, I think is a good game. It's fun, but the naval combat, the microtransaction bullshit, the grindiness of it ruins the game for me.
Let's
Then
go, Game Woody.
then
Let's
with
go.
Unity,
You
the
two on
Unity had great graphics, but it was broken. And again, they already destroyed the overarching plot. So why would you even
Yeah.
care what's happening in the Animus if you know it doesn't matter?
That's true. Yeah, the only thing
That's
that
what made
really
you.
mattered was when you're playing as Arno and what's going on with him. But
Then
in
again,
the
you realize that think about it, it's in the distant past. So who
yeah,
cares?
yeah, exactly. And then like
Who
the current
cares?
day shit is pretty much non-existent in that game, and also with Syndicate. So it's like again, it's like really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So then they tried to rectify that with Layla Hassan in
Basically,
Origins, and that was still ass. So
it doesn't matter how good the games are because it's not
yeah,
going anywhere. It's not
Yeah,
yeah,
going
but
anywhere.
I will
exactly.
say this though, because we know like 2 games will be flopping rival next year. And even right now, if you take what's gone blown, lot of the damn player base trying to like compare AC for a Black Flag game with Explore from 2013. Yo, it's 2013. And they can't get Skull and Bones to Explore.
Dude, I
Time
honestly
is said
think
this.
Black Flag is so overrated anyway. People
Yeah,
are
I think
complaining like
yeah,
they're comparing it to that game like that's something like great because Black Flag again they took a formula that works and they made this open world shit which is fun. It's fine. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong, it's fine the gameplay, but the grind, the crafting, the requirements to actually progress in the story at some parts are so grindy that I can't do it. Me personally, I don't like it. I think that
yeah.
that's not the
yeah,
genre
say
that
to
you
me,
should be
bro.
doing.
Say to me, bro.
It
That's
should
not
have
the
been
genre
it
you
should
should be
have been
doing
its
that
own
shit in.
game. It should have been its own game. They could just made a pirate game and just left it at that. It just but then they want to slap again. They want to slap Assassin's Creed and all these other things, hoping that it sells. And then look where they're
Yeah,
at now.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, bro. But personally, like I said, at least the Edge trilogy supposed to be like the end. That's
You could look at Assassin's Creed 3 at the end and be perfectly happy.
yeah.
That's how
Spear
I look at it.
Spear, Spear Paradox tell me, but he doesn't like it that much because he
Well,
doesn't
Assassin's
care
Creed
about
3
the
sucks, but at least
Yeah,
it's
it
an
yeah,
end.
does.
At least it's an end.
Yeah,
yeah,
at least it ends Desmond's story. Obviously, not the way it should have been, but at least
You could at
there
least
is
look at it
some
as
kind.
an end.
Yeah, it's an end. It's a shitty end, but it's an end.
Yeah. Revelations to me is probably their best game, honestly.
yeah,
Even though I love
yeah. I
Assassin's Creed
like it
2,
the best damn
but
game, bro. Great. But for me, I like two the most. At least I've
well,
made.
yeah. Two is like
Yeah,
really good, and
I think one gets a lot of hate, to be honest.
the whole series up until 3 are
Oh,
a masterpiece to me. But I'm talking about from a gameplay perspective. I think Revelations has like the best gameplay, but 2
That's
has like a great story, and so they're the
mhm.
Ezio the Ezio games are the best games in the series. Period.
Yeah.
yeah, the best damn game to series, bro. The best
What's up,
damn.
Y2 Viral?
Yo, Y2, what's up, bro?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I'm great, bro.
So
I'm great.
I'm gonna have to go in a few. I
All
don't know how
right.
much longer you're gonna keep the podcast going, so I'll stay a little bit longer, but I have to go.
By the
Plus, I
way,
want to play some Stellar Blade. I got some cheeks to watch Jiggle
by the
and
way,
bosses
I'm
to kill.
gonna like finish this type of stuff there, and then maybe not say, but let me finish this type of crap. Then yeah, I was kind of a few thoughts about it. Let me
In
finish it.
reality, it's sad. Here's why it's sad. Okay, let's say Stellar Blade actually is stellar. Let's say it has groundbreaking. I said groundbreaking gameplay, a riveting story, the likes of which we've never seen before. None of that will matter. The only thing you will remember it for and people will talk about is the girl, because that's what the game dev was intending. He did it on purpose. So no matter what,
That's a lie.
That's not even true though.
yourself.
That's not true because
The
yeah, you
story is
play
interesting. The combat is fun as hell. The gameplay loop is really good.
Long
The
run.
yeah,
graphically, it's very good. Music is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Characters are interesting. Even the side quests are pretty good and interesting as well.
what he should say is that's all he's gonna remember for because he's a freaking idiot who doesn't understand nuance.
Yeah, he's so narrow-minded where that's all he thinks about. That's all he thinks it is. That's all he wants it to be.
And that's all it will
This
be to
is
him.
his narrative.
And that's all it will ever be to him.
Yeah, to him, that's all it's gonna be.
If you don't believe me, go look at other similar games. They don't get this level of hyper attention. This game
That's a lie. Nier Automata and Bayonetta are well beloved. Keep in mind, Bayonetta 1 came out before Twitter was even a thing.
To be talked about. It's going to be
Or even like YouTube wasn't like booming like the way it has been now.
Oh,
People are making videos like that. So Bayonetta is beloved and had
look at the cognitive
Hey,
dissonance. Look at the cognitive dissonance. He's saying he's praising 2B when he doesn't realize when 2B came out, people were bashing her as just sex eye candy, and then they played the game and found out like, oh wait, the game's actually really good and has a great story, and it's remembered not only for 2B being beautiful and being attractive and being sexy, but it's also remembered for the game being amazing as well.
You know how much
and the same thing's gonna happen with Stellar Blade. Another game's gonna come out and they're gonna say, oh well, at least Eve wasn't like that. Eve had some depth. She had a good character, whatever. They're gonna keep doing that because they don't want to just
until
admit
the next one.
they don't want to admit that they're just people that go with the narrative and that they're people that don't think for themselves. They won't admit that, so they're gonna continuously enter the endless loop of doing that shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And keep in mind they always mention Nier Automata and 2B, but they never mention A2.
Yep. Because they never got that far. Because they never really
Yeah.
played the game.
Yeah, they never got that far. They never beat the game. Because if they actually beat the game, they'll know
If
that
you-
2B and A2 are really good characters.
If you ever play, once you play Stellar Blade, people that play it, you instantly realize that if you thought she was gonna be like a Bayonetta or constantly throwing her sex appeal everywhere, you're gonna be highly mistaken. What you're gonna get is a Sekiro-like game with a sci-fi plot similar to something like The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the game actually is. The game is heavily influenced by The Matrix. It's heavily influenced by Nier Automata. Like the game has so much character and depth to it, in terms of like what the world that they created in the world building, that all these arguments people are trying to use to say like, oh, she's just sex appeal shows you it's just straight ignorance. It's like
It's just
just-
it's out of
Exactly, bro.
desperation. It's out of desperation because they have nothing.
all you have to do is play the game. Once you play the game for the first like few hours, you're gonna realize that it's not gonna be that, and it never will be that, and that you're gonna if you bought the game just for that, then you're gonna be disappointed because now you're gonna have to play a fairly like moderate difficulty Sekiro.
Even with the demo, they can find that out themselves. The free demo that they can play.
Her sex
now,
appeal
been out
is
for
never
weeks.
mentioned. Her sex appeal is never been. The only time that it's mentioned is when this woman character that you meet named Roxanne, she acts very lesbianic toward
Eve.
toward Eve.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like very mild. She just says, "Oh, I'm not used to seeing a beautiful woman like you in these parts or whatever." But even then, it's not like highly sexualizing her. And the only other time is with this is a bit of a spoiler, but I don't think anyone cares. With the fisherman, once you do all the fishing quests, he basically trolls you and says he's gonna give you something called Fisherman's Dream, and Eve thinks it's gonna be she thinks it's gonna be like some fishing equipment or something, and then he says, "Nah, it was just his costume." And then Eve like she makes a joke saying, "Oh, I should cut you in half for that." That's about as much as they're referencing her looks goes, and even then, come on, even both you guys have to admit that's super mild.
Exactly.
it is.
Let's go, Game and Woody. Let's go. I miss the time where every company did their own thing. Nowadays, everyone copy each other. Want to steal other companies' fans. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they
Exactly,
just
bro.
they're copying each other. They're trying to follow the leader who can do the same thing and be the most successful at it. They're just trying
It's so
to.
sad, bro.
It's like they're not innovative. That's why this generation feels like
It's so boring.
fucking
That's why
ass.
it's boring.
It's so boring.
You play
because,
God
like,
of War.
None of them tried.
If you play
They're so
God of War, you
complacent
played all
and
these
doing the
games.
same
bro.
thing. Yeah,
Exactly.
God of War
If you
2018,
play God of
no
War-
different than Ragnarok. Both are almost like
And a lot of games.
interchangeable. And a lot,
Play
that too.
that game. You're playing Stellar Blade. I mean, not Stellar Blade. You're
Yeah.
playing Hell's Blade.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, Hellblade. Hellblade.
I don't like it.
Terrible. That game,
Well,
Hellblade, ass.
it
Oh
sucks.
my god. Then the second one looks like it's gonna be
Ah,
even worse.
Don't get me
Another
wrong.
interactive walking
Don't get me
simulator.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. God of War has better gameplay than that, but it's not by much. It's not really by much. It's not much better. Like a lot of these games,
It's not.
they've been completely ruined. You know,
True,
the
bro.
days of like fun platformers, fun puzzles, and all that is gone. Now you can't even jump. You have to walk slowly for 10
Yeah.
hours. Everything's an RPG because God forbid a game just be
Your
a fucking action game.
your companion AI has to help you
Yeah.
get up
Tell
to
you everything.
tell you everything and help you get up to a higher surface instead of you being able to jump. Or
Yeah,
in the case of
exactly.
God of
To be
War, where before he was able to jump and double jump and glide and all this other shit, now he can't even like do that for some reason because again,
walk
well,
slowly, and equip your runes to do whatever RPG ability that doesn't belong in this series.
yeah, ju- just for the sake of realism.
Yeah, you
Well,
play a game called God of
well,
War for realism.
yeah, yeah. What is actually realism to them, which is
Yeah.
always just boring, ugly, just tedious and uninspired. It's like all the time. And we have a game like Stellar Blade. It really is a breath of fresh air because like it really
Exactly,
takes you
bro.
back to games from the past and it actually feels fun. It has detailed, uh, high quality graphics and gameplay, but it's not sacrificed from for the sake
Yeah,
of bullshit realism.
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Because right now, every game's like what's for Western, it has to be full on semi-realistic, but not at least having it at least fantasy or maybe like little bit of goofy, little bit goofy.
Yeah,
Every character's got to
it
be
can be
They're just
silly and
boring. They're like
comedic at
boring to
times, but
play.
a lot.
They're just boring
But
to
then,
play
yeah, it's
though.
like
Like if you play the old God of War, doing combos as Kratos is so fun, and then you play Ragnarok,
yeah,
everything
damn
feels so
myself, bro.
slow and
Damn
on
myself.
rails.
And
Like
yeah.
yeah, I know
It's just
other
it's
games.
just
again
boring.
it's like what Game of War was saying, like trying to copy what other studios are doing. It's trying to be a fake Dark Souls clone in a way.
Exactly, bro. And let me tell this, y'all, because remember how what is it? Nowadays, every company trying to best put first person shooter games, but not at least third person shooter, or at least have like you can create your own AI companions. They never ever do it, bro. They never ever do
It's
this.
crazy because the technology is amazing now. The technology is so good now, and like the kind of games they could be making is unbelievable. And instead of getting that, we're getting like dog shit walking simulator games
Yeah,
with some combat
or
sprinkled in.
or
Like
less
ever since
quality.
The Last of Us 1 came out, The Last of Us 1 was a curse to gaming because as much as I like the first game, every game that Sony makes feels like The Last of Us 1.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
yep,
Let me
yep.
tell you this.
What's that game?
Even though
Plague Tale. That game that got so much praise by the media and award shows and all that. That's a Last of Us clone. All these so many of these other games is turning into another Last of Us game.
Yeah.
Fucking again back to God of War. You would have thought that game was made by Naughty Dog.
Yeah, it really does have that vibe about it, man. Like, and yeah, look, don't get me wrong. Like, there are some fun things about it, but at the same time, it's not good. And it's like,
it's
it's
just bad
kind of,
It pales in comparison
it
to the
pales in
trilogy.
comparison. I won't
person.
pretend
Yeah,
that it's total dog shit, but it's not good. I wouldn't consider that game great. Like, if that
Yeah,
was an original IP, maybe, but because I know what Kratos is capable of, it becomes boring. It makes Kratos seem, it even makes him seem weaker because
hmm
he's so grounded now that he seems like less powerful.
yeah. He needs all these fucking equipment, well, these different stat boosts and shit. Other Kratos was like he didn't need any of that shit.
Yeah.
exactly.
He just went in there and whooped ass.
And
Yeah,
also, he wasn't given things; he took it from his enemies.
Yep.
That was
yeah,
the important thing. The important thing, he took what he wanted, and he basically was like, when Kratos fights you, he's in charge. He'll take what he needs.
yeah. That motherfucker's in charge always. And guys, let me tell you this: who's in charge? But it's not gonna work. Tomb Raider, Lara Croft from 90s. She's always want to like become like explorer, and also like in like whatever like initiate into like hidden tombs because she
Yeah,
always
she's
loved
another one that'll
exploring
just take
tombs.
what she wants.
That's her real, identity of herself. She wants to like explore real tombs so she can collect artifacts and put it around
Artifacts,
the
yeah.
mansion and have a lot of things to remember to show to her family, her dad.
Yeah,
But
it's like, and
can't
even
do that
then,
no more.
she keeps shit that she probably shouldn't even keep because it's like ancient artifacts, but she didn't care because that was part of her that was part of her charm. It's like she's a badass female character that does whatever she wants.
Yeah, and
Yep.
also
She's not socially conscious. She doesn't care. She's like, if I could get out of this tomb stealing your culture's artifact, I will.
exactly that's Laura Croft is. She wants to keep it in a mansion and a place to remind her to look for to show with her family. But her family like passed away. But basically we came to this new thing we know they go create and maybe have for like comic book. She can't at least bitches go to the tomb.
You know
No.
why though? Because they want her to be. Since she's a female character, she can't be morally. She can't be like gray. She has to be like do what's considered the right thing. She has to be like
Yeah.
a Mary Sue,
Yeah, or a
and that's how
Has to be
that's how
culturally
that's
sensitive.
or
that's
a
how most
tranny.
female characters are written now. Or
Yeah,
or
Yeah.
tranny.
or tranny. But it can't piss me the fuck off, bro.
They want her to be
She
culturally
can't. She
sensitive
can't. Yeah,
as much as
she can't.
possible.
Go on tomb and all that bullshit. Fuck y'all's, bro. Fuck y'all's. Stupid.
I mean,
Yeah,
really, once they
Kratos
did
feels
the
way weaker these days.
2013 Tomb Raider remake, they kind of fucked. I mean, that one was probably like
Yeah,
the best one out of
That game
out of the
is
three.
good. That game
nah,
is
I
But
good, but
prefer.
it
but
should have
after
been
that,
it should have been a new IP. That didn't
yeah,
have
Nah,
to be Lara Croft.
yeah,
to be
exactly.
honest,
Because
I prefer
yeah,
Tomb Raider
it's
like
another one. It
or
became
Underworld. I like
Uncharted.
Underworld the most. Underworld,
Okay.
bro.
That
I
game
think
was broken though, right? Or am I thinking of Angel of Darkness? No, I'm thinking of Angel of
yeah,
Darkness.
Angel
Yeah,
Darkness.
Underworld
yeah,
was good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Underworld is good.
Yeah.
yeah, I like
Angel Darkness was the one on
Underworld the
PS2, right?
most, bro.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah,
they used to bring back, Laura Croft from her identity to the
It's a
night.
shame. It's a shame though, because that's one of the best looking PS2 games.
yeah, right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that one
but
too.
they're just like when they reboot, nah, it's just ruined the whole thing. Even though don't get
You know what's crazy though? But I want
okay.
to say something, Reborn, because at least with the first game in the reboot, she wasn't a Mary Sue and she didn't act like a feminist. Like she was like she acted very feminine. She was okay with being saved and shit like that. It's
Yeah,
it's only until like the second game in that series and the third game where they really went hard with like the Mary Sue shit and her like virtue signaling and shit like that. Because in the
yeah,
first game, it felt like she was like in a horror movie and she was trying to survive. That's what the first game felt like
yeah,
for me
Yeah,
exactly. But
in the
wait,
reboot series.
but guys, let me tell you this. When it came to the definitive edition, how they done her face, I say, nah. What happened to her original face from the?
You ever saw Austin Powers? That's a man,
oh,
baby.
yeah, I
She's a
remember
man.
that.
She's a man, baby.
Yeah,
I didn't know they changed her face in the definitive edition, and
yeah,
that's of the first one in the reboot series, right?
Did they change it? Her face in that one? I think it's in
yeah.
the
In
one.
the PS4,
No, 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 no. You're thinking about the definitive image because what was it called?
Oh,
What's it
the
called?
unified
The
Tomb
unified. Yeah,
Raider, the
I'm pretty
image,
sure
but
that's what you're talking about, right? And
yeah, she had
they
like
made her look like a man. Yeah.
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 People were comparing her face to Leon in the Resident Evil 2 remake.
She really looks like him. She really does.
Yeah.
It's just I just
Apparently that's not the actual version. That's not the how she's gonna look in the new reboot. So, but I'm sure she's gonna
I
look
well,
she's gonna be
I
covered up
new one.
and
I'm not.
look
Yeah,
more manly.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do some bullshit with the story because there was like rumors she was gonna be a lesbian and some other weird shit. She's what the hell was it? She was dealing with being emotionally scarred from her childhood or some shit like that. I don't remember exactly, but it was some nonsense that apparently I'm assuming is true because people were reporting that they were getting like DMCA's from Crystal Dynamics over that.
So it must be
So,
true.
yep.
exactly, bro.
But they were showing images or just talking about it.
They were just talking about it. Apparently
So
there
they
was like a
can't.
leak.
Then Square Enix would lose that then
No,
because
no,
in
no,
the
no,
end
no.
of it,
Square Enix doesn't own them anymore.
I'm not
They
Square
sold them.
Enix. What's it called? Crystal
Embrace
Dynamic. Embracer Group.
yeah,
Okay.
well, no, damn, doesn't isn't Amazon publishing it? Well, I think they're owned by Embrace Group anyway.
Well, my point is,
Regardless,
whoever's giving the DMCA's, they can't. They have no grounds to stand on
yeah,
because
because
they can't really.
it was like a leak.
Unless they're showing visuals of it and like showing like the actual documents themselves, then they can't really say anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
exactly.
True, absolutely true. And yeah, by the way, yos, I'm gonna wrap it up. But I want to thank everyone that joined, like King Tech, Gamer Woody, Antonio,
Gamer Wody.
yeah, YT Viral, Ghosty
Yeah, shout
Wins,
out to you guys.
and a lot of you, including you, Revenant and Jim Patchy and Spare Paradox. I
Oh
respect
yeah.
everyone came in here, and it's a great session where we discuss about the situation, discuss about
Yep.
games, and discuss about a lot of things, bro, which is great. Cause
Yep.
basically, yeah, that's how I plan this topic today. And yeah, um, yeah. No worries, Kim Tech. Respect, mommy. Thanks for joining by, which is great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
GMS gaming. Beautiful women. They like what? They can't be beautiful and be badass. Like it's
Right.
BS,
exactly,
bro.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's BS.
Yeah,
All
exactly,
right.
bro.
Well, thanks for having me on. I always like talking about this stuff. I'm gonna head out because
Yeah,
I
it's
got to do a
too.
few things, and I also want to finish playing Stellar Blade because I'm up to a part that's pretty interesting. So I'll
Yeah.
catch you guys later.
Keep on playing the game, bro. Because probably in about like 2 months, I will be catch up to it if I got a chance to. And I'll tell how do I feel about it. Same
Yep,
thing.
Nice.
yep, for sure, for sure. And everybody, I recommend you play the game. It's a fun game. It
Yeah,
can
it's a
be
great game,
challenging.
guys. Great
Yeah, you
game.
should play it.
Just
And
like
don't listen to what dickheads say online. Like they're gonna try
yeah,
to bash the
exactly.
game any way they can. Just if you
Yeah,
enjoy
Mm-hmm.
it, you enjoy it.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly, bro. Right. Anyway, else, thank you for joining the stream, and thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having me on, Reborn.
yeah,
Also, let me just say, if you're interested, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do a lot of like gaming streams. I've actually been streaming Stellar Blade lately, so check that out. I do all kinds of
and
like Arkham
animation too.
content, animations too. The last
Mm-hmm.
animation I did got 500K views, so it's doing pretty well. And
Ooh.
I'm against all the woke shit as well, so check it out. If you like it, subscribe, watch, leave a comment. Join my streams. I like talking to people while I play. I have a lot of fun doing that. If you don't like it, that's fine too. It's a free speech world. A world, you have your free speech, but or you have your right. But if you do, check it out. And thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Revenant Remnant.
Oh yeah. So yeah, thanks for having me on my channel. I talk about a lot of the woke nonsense going on within gaming. I try to give approach it from my own perspective and try to cover as much as I can and address things that other people may not address. And I try not to handle things with kids gloves because a lot of people try to be nice to these companies and these individuals, and I kind of feel like fuck them. But anyway, so yeah, that's the type of content I make. I'm working on a video covering on censorship and the Free Cell Blade petition going on in regards to that, and why people talking about the censorship and calling it out is very important. Also, this Sunday, I'm doing a podcast with my co-host is Jim Pachi and Reborn. You're welcome to come on too if you want.
Yeah,
Um,
I will be there.
so we'll be talking about that as well, as long as, of course, a few other things. So if anyone's interested, check that out. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it. Well, guys, that's it. You know, Reborn, and you know how to find me. By the way, if y'all want to like join, feel free to like hit me up or put a comment section saying that hey, Reborn want to join. Then I can at least invite you to it and
Oh,
make it happen.
quick advice for you, Reborn.
Hmm.
When you're letting people know about the time that your podcast is coming on, you should try to get the time for that will be at the U.S. time, the Eastern time, because if they see like you're writing it within the U.K. time,
Hmm.
then they may get that confused where they may think like, example, like you start at 11 p.m. They may think like, oh, it's gonna be 11 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
So like if they see it's gonna be earlier than that, then okay, there's a good possibility more people will show up from from the eastern region. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Eastern, yeah. Yeah, I will try to do it. But by the way, everybody, thanks for joining. And this is Reed
Appreciate it.
689 signing out. Y'all take care and good luck. Peace out.